shuttle train, Jimmy Neutron well back in the race now as November Fury, Lochinvar Jet, and Nessie's Thunder, Sire's the Virus, led by 2 over Billy Nudge all down the back.
If only this place could talk. Right here was the home to the Glebe Dirty Reds, one of the inaugural clubs of the New South Wales Rugby League in 1908. And those lunatics of the Speedway, they used to roar around here in the 1930s in front of thousands of fans. But when you think of Wentworth Park, there's only one thing you think of. In the 1960s, Blacktop was the punter's idol. And then a few years later, it was his daughter, Zoomtop, creating all the headlines. The 70s saw some of the best stays to ever race, including the great Wooly Wong. In the 1980s, it was all about speed. Brother Fox set a new world record at Harold Park, and here at Wenty, Worth Doing was the undisputed superstar.
This was an exhilarating performance by Worth Doing by 20 lengths.
That was then, and this is now. In 2023, Greyhound Racing New South Wales will deliver the greatest Greyhound show on earth. First up in March, we head west to Dubbo. It's the world's richest middle distance race, the Country Classic. In April, the golden Easter egg is the one they all want to win with a 300 grand payday. The Steel City has the world's richest distance race in May, the 7:15, and $500,000 is on the table. And in June, it's Grafton's turn to shine with the world's richest short course race, the Thunderbolt. We also have Group 1s like the Vic Peters Classic and the Dapto Megastar. And there's a stack of other features including the Bulli Gold Cup, the Richmond Derby and the Masters Meteor. But the biggest one of all comes in October, the richest free entry greyhound race anywhere in the world. One race, one winner, $1 million.
The leader, Mystic Right, Jamila Jack cutting it down, Mystic Right digging in, a dream, now a reality, Mystic Right, brilliant. Good Autorada in the lead, Shivershine can't get there, Good Autorada will win the $10 million chase. Handsome Prince, a boulder clear, the former Tasmanian, Handsome Prince has won the $1 million chase.
Richard Otter getting up on the inside, but this is greatness from a champion. She's a Pearl wins the $10 million chase. McInerney, Tippy Kyrgios in the middle. McInerney hit the front, Tippy Kyrgios drive, McInerney's won the $10 million chase.
In 2023, history will again be made and dreams will come true. It is the greatest greyhound show on earth, and it's right here in New South Wales.
And welcome along to beautiful Dubbo here in the central west of New South Wales. We're 400 kilometres from Sydney. It's a nice balmy night. It's around 35 degrees at the moment. Tonight is Country Classic final night. $125,000 going to the winner. It is the world's richest middle distance race, and we're here at Dubbo to bring you our showcase coverage of that event. Got a big team on course, and I'm joined by my old mate Timmy the Battler Newbold. Beautiful weather here at Dubbo.
Yeah, warm day, Duke, but it's beginning to cool down a little now. Fantastic to be here at Dubbo. We were back in the Sydney studio for our live coverage 12 months ago, but I'm glad to be here tonight. A number of people I've spoken to over the last year said this race meeting is one of the best they've ever been to. That was last year. Hope it's very similar tonight.
Shannon Knoll, of course, entertained the crowds here post the race meeting last year. Jason Owen is the entertainment tonight. I tell you, we went for a walk around town earlier this morning, and the whole town was actually buzzing about what was happening here at Dawson Park tonight. And of course, Timmy, it really is. The locals call it Dub Vegas. They call it Dub Vegas for a real reason, don't they?
They do, Duke. And yeah, you're right. It was buzzing. We had a really good walk around town today. Chatted to a few people about tonight's race meeting. They were coming out for sure. And there is a real healthy crowd rolling in right now.
Yeah, and of course, Dubbo, of course, is famous for things like the Western Plains Zoo, the old Dubbo Jail, the Royal Flying Doctor Service is based here at Dubbo as well, and some famous people. Matt Burton, who plays for Canterbury. Isaiah Yeo, who is the co-captain of the Penrith Panthers. Glenn McGrath, one of the great bowlers for Australian cricket. He was born here, raised at Narromine, and of course Barry Unsworth, the 36th Premier of New South Wales. He was born here at Dubbo. I don't know if you ever came to Dawson Park, but that one.
No, and I know he's a boss of radio station 2KY.
He was when you started there.
No, it was a little before I started at 2KY, but I think about the late 90s. So Barry, yeah.
The 36th Premier of New South Wales, and that great Australian band, Thirsty Merc, also originated from Dubbo. And last year, of course, Zipping Kyrgios took out the Country Classic final. Let's just talk briefly about this race. What a cracking race we've got coming up tonight. 8 genuine hopes of winning this event.
You're right, 8 legitimate winning chances. Doing the form, you could come up with any one of the 8 runners. I've found probably the roughest runner in the race is my on-top selection. Bandit Jane, she was brilliant leading all of the way, near track record time a week ago. She's clearly the one to beat. And from box number 3, she should probably get a little bit of room to move with wider runners drawn on her outside. Tanya Keeping, she was terrific last week. She's well drawn in box 2. And Showman Jack, who is a greyhound who can run very, very quick times, he was gallant when he finished runner-up in his heat last week, and I think he'll take a stack of benefit out of that run. This is a ripping race, Duke.
3:30 in favour of Bandit Jane, who holds the track record at Dubbo over the 600 metres. The roughie is Grim Madara at $16. We've got a few runners there, the outside particularly at around that $10, $11 quote. For people who want to get on now, tell us your tip.
Yeah, I think Grim Madara's got a tremendous chance at a massive price, $16 in early betting. I think if he begins, he can lead. If he goes to the front and a couple of the other greyhounds, particularly greyhound number 8, gets to second, he might be able to pinch it rolling along on the lure. At that price, I've got to have something on him.
Yeah, and look, he's a well-performed greyhound. From the Premier Kennel as well, Andy and Jodie Lord, who also have Bandit Jane in it. But as I say, it's $16, the roughie in the field. 8 genuine hopes of winning this event. We were just talking to Johnny and Julie Smart, and they've got Showman Jack off the inside. And, John's praying that he comes out running and holds the fence. He believes if he leads, they won't run him down. Yeah,
I concur with that. If he is able to lead, he will be very hard to run down. He does want to shift a little at the first turn, so he does need to begin cleanly and clear those greyhounds on his immediate outside, because he will shift coming around that first turn. He did it here last week. He does it generally when he's over the 600 metres at other tracks, which are on the bend start, particularly Gosford. So he does need that room to move in the early stages, but he's got a tremendous chance.
All right, there's a population of around 40,000 here at Dubbo. We are on the land of the Wiradjuri people, and one person standing on that particular land is Mick Cowley, who's at the 600 metre boxes here tonight.
Thanks, Mark. I'm here at the 605 metre boxes. This is where all the action's going to start a bit after 9 o'clock tonight in the Country Classic final. $125,000 to the winner, and much will depend on who jumps out of these boxes first tonight, gets around that first turn in front, go a long way to deciding the race winner. $125,000, as I said, to the winner. Should be an absolute cracker. Got a great night's racing ahead of us. I'll get to talk to all the winners, so I should get all the good stories. I'll catch up with you during the night. Back to you in the broadcast position.
Thank you very much, Mick. Hopefully you can find some shade here. And look, it has cooled down probably in the last 30 minutes or so, Timmy, but they are still tipping temperatures of around 27 degrees come race time at 9:14 p.m.
Yeah, it's all right. Compared to about 2 or 3 hours ago, it's very cool here at the moment. But no, it is. It has cooled down quite considerably in the last probably 45 to 60 minutes, Duke.
We've got a big team here on track at Dawson Park, Dubbo for Country Classic night. Simon Orchard will be getting all the pre-race interviews. Simon, good evening and welcome to our coverage.
Thanks, Duke. I'm down here in the stir-up area. Pristine and perfect conditions ahead of a 12-race card here at Dubbo tonight. And as the trainers start walking in, there's a real air of anticipation about what's about to unfold here at Dawson's Park. If you just have a look behind me at the moment, this is the process that all greyhounds go through before they race tonight. First, they get ID checked at the end by a steward. Then they come through. They have a little wee if they need to, but then they head straight on through this room to get weighed, to get checked off, to get checked over by the vet, and then they're locked away in their kennels ready for their racing. So every single greyhound will go through this process tonight to make sure they're fit, sound, healthy and well to jump on the track and run their little hearts out. So I'll be here in the stir-up area throughout the night getting all the action and reaction from the trainers as they head out to their races, and hopefully for the punters we can tip you into a couple of winners. Back to you, Duke.
Thank you very much, Simon Orchard, down in the kennel area. And of course, Timmy, we've got a 12-race card here at Dubbo tonight. We are broadcasting up to and including the Country Classic, which kicks off at 9:14 p.m. Greyhounds are in the parade ring for the first event on the card here at Dubbo tonight. The one thing I love about coming to regional New South Wales and coming to tracks like this is you see the real family involvement of greyhound racing in New South Wales. You know, we've got Shane Stiff and his family, Charmaine Roberts, we've got the Braddons, we've got the O'Neills, we've got the Foleys, we've got the Smiths, we've got so many families that are actually entrenched in greyhound racing, racing this area, and it's great to be here on course.
Dennis and Barnes and Chris and Sandra Spratt, so we were chatting to them earlier, but you're right, Duke, it's a real family atmosphere here, and a lot of these families in greyhound racing, they're all here tonight. And I know Dennis and Anne and talking to Chris earlier, they're quietly confident with Nangar Rocket in the big one tonight. The Country Classic has drawn box number 4. He's not too badly drawn in the middle because he's a bit of a wider runner. So, yeah, they're quietly confident of taking out the big one tonight.
All right, let's take a look at race number 1 on the card, and the favourite here is the pink, and that is Total Glamour for Leighton Winner. It's had one start here, which was on Tuesday. It finished 4th behind Nate's Fury. It's currently at even money, $2 in front of Aston Plus for Paul Britt at $3.90 from box number 3. John Boy Taro for Dan Foley gets a start from box number 2. It was well supported here on Tuesday, Timmy. $3.90, had no luck. I've actually put John Boy Taro on top, but it is a 318 metre maiden, and probably, again, as you would expect, one of the tougher races on the card.
I'm fairly keen on number 8 here, Total Glamour, Duke. Geez, was well tried on Tuesday afternoon. Started around the $2.50 mark. Began well, showed a good turn of speed, and checked at the first turn. From box number 8, I think she only needs to begin on terms tonight to rush down the outside and get the fly here. I think she's one of the better gambles on the program, Total Glamour. I do concede John Boy Taro is a big improver on Tuesday's run. Did want to get a little wide, so I think he's better drawn from box 5 out, but with a clean getaway, he has got a bit of speed. He got crowded up and found a little bit of trouble here on Tuesday. With a bit more luck, he's right in the race.
Aston Plus is the query dog for Paul Britt, unraced. Again, when you're looking at unraced greyhounds in particular areas, you want to know that they've been to the track and they've had a look here, basically.
Yeah, beautifully bred too, Duke. And 3 of the litter mates have all won in Victoria. Aston Hanley's won 2 races, Aston Honey 7 races, and Aston Melly 2 wins. So the litter can run, so we've just got to monitor betting moves with the debutante.
Yep, all right. So there are the tips from thedogs.com.au. They've gone 8, 3, 1 and 9. They're with you, Battler. They've put Total Glamour on top. So it's $2 about Total Glamour, $3.90 at Aston Plus. We've got $7 Real Slim, and the first reserve, John Boy Taro, my on top tip. It's at $4. Let's head to Simon Orchard.
We're joined by Paul Britt. He's got Aston Plus going around in the first on the card. What do you rate of chances, Paul?
Yeah, I think he's a really good chance. He's having his first start, so he's a little bit inexperienced, but he's trialling well. So when he got sent across from Rod Clark through Ray Border, we had a bit of opinion of him. So yeah.
Got 4 runners tonight, Paul. Aston Plus, Aston Monica, Aston Payroll, and then Aston Steffi later on tonight. Best of the chances?
I'd probably say Aston Monica because she's a very reliable beginner.
Best of luck, mate.
Yep, thank you.
Thank you, Simon Orchard. And Aston Plus, as I said, an unraced greyhound trained by Paul Britt, but again, you've got to give them plenty of respect, Timmy, because they've probably been here, had a look at the track. They may have been here 3, 4, 5 times, particularly when you look at greyhounds trained by Charmaine Robertson and Shane Stiff and that, you know, they basically educate their dogs here.
Yeah, exactly, Duke. They know every inch of sand of this Dubbo track. Real Slim, greyhound number 1, Duke, went around here on Tuesday, like many of these greyhounds. Did want to shift up the track from box 1, so he's not all that well drawn in the cherry in this race for mine, Real Slim. So it'll be interesting if he does hold a couple of those greyhounds on his outside up through the first turn if he does begin on terms.
The thing that you must also take into account are greyhounds in boxes 1, 4, 5, 8 and John Boy Taro, who starts from box number 2. They're all having their first start here on Tuesday. It was the first time they've been to the track, the first time they've been kennel. And look, some dogs, they find it very confronting. They come back 5 days later and it's like they're staying at home. They're used to it. They're used to what happens on a race day or a race night procedure. So expect some improvement from some of these dogs once they've had, again, that they've been part of that kenneling process, part of the parade process. They've been in front of a crowd as well.
Absolutely, Duke. They normally improve. Yeah, as you said, once they go through all those processes, the kenneling and whatnot, and with a crowd here as well, Duke. There was a good crowd here, last Saturday night, but a solid crowd here on Tuesday as well. So they will be, those debuts runs, they'll be much better for those efforts, and I'm sure we'll see a couple of these greyhounds improve out of sight after their runs on Tuesday.
Yeah. So it is a fairly wide market as far as punting is concerned. We're just going to try and find some market movers here for the first event on the card at Dubbo tonight. As said, 12 events to be run and won. Don't forget, we've got a good card at Wentworth Park as well. She's a Pearl goes around in race number 6. But as far as the fluctuations are concerned here, for the first on the card at Dubbo, Aston Plus, it's $3.60 out to around that $5.50 quote. Blue Smoothie, $6.50 out to $8. Real Slim off the inside, $6.50 to $7. What have we got? Wheeling, $34 out to $51. Drunken Ruby, a real roughie. Total Glamour, it's the one they only want to back, Timmy, realistically. $2.80 into around the $2 quote. And John Boy Taro, who will start from box 2, is $3.60 out to around $4.80. So the only one the punters really want to be on is Leighton Winner's Total Glamour, who is second up today.
Yeah, I'm not surprised, Duke. When you did have a look at the videos, which I did over the last 24 hours, desperately unlucky here on Tuesday afternoon when she was making a debut. She was showing a good turn of speed. She began well. She showed good box manners, but she was checked out of it at the first turn. She now moves to box number 8 from box number 3. She'll get room to move to rush down the outside. I think with a clean getaway, she'll take control and it'll be all over. She just needs to begin on terms.
All right, so this is the first of 12 here on Country Classic Night. Don't forget, it is the world's richest middle distance race worth $125,000 to the winner. It will be run at 9:14 p.m. And of course, last year we saw very emotional scenes with Zipping Curios win for John and Minnie Finn. Minnie basically dancing down the home straight here at Dubbo. And of course, John and Minnie Finn and also Mark Delbridge, they had runners last year, and Minnie and John won it with Zipping Curios and ran third with Zipping Alabama. And the Finns and the Delbridges are back again this year for Country Classic. Last look at the market, as said, Total Glamour, the only one that punters really want, in from around $2.82, even money. John Boy Taro, the first reserve, starts from box 2. It's at $4.60. $6 about Aston Plus, so real blow as far as the first starter, number 3, Aston Plus, is concerned. All right, we are here at beautiful Dawson Park at Dubbo on Country Classic Night. This is the first event, a maiden over 318 metres. Our caller is Matt Jackson.
In the west of New South Wales at Dubbo, very warm conditions as the green light is switched on. Total Glamour to bounce, the favourite at $2. They're set. And they're racing now. Total Glamour away quickly, wide out, and will burn them off early from John Boy Taro, and splitting them a length away is Aston Plus. They're followed then by Cecily Cargo, Blue Smoothie. There was trouble at the front of the field. Next, Drunken Ruby as they swing for home. John Boy Taro went through, sprinted away, and John Boy Taro, a big winner of the first, beat home Blue Smoothie and Drunken Ruby. They're followed in by Wheeling, getting home late from Aston Plus. Well back is Cecily Cargo, Real Slim in the favourite, checked out of it mid-race. Total Glamour to finish at the rear. The run to the opener, 18.57.
9, 5, 7 and 6. 9, 5, 7 and 6 it will be to the opening event here on the card at Dubbo. John Boy Taro starting from box number 2 for Daniel Foley gets the cash. As I said, got a case of the blows, $3.60 out to around that $4.80 quote, runs 18.57. Looked to be a 2-dog race on the home turn with John Boy Taro leading from Total Glamour, who then got dragged down, and John Boy Taro skipped 4 or 5 in front, all over Red Rover.
Yeah, all over at that point, Duke. He was moderately away here on Tuesday, but he was much better away tonight. He showed his good burn when he just drove up here. Total Glamour, she was coming across, but he just punched up. You can see him just use a little bit of the track when she wanted to come over, and then bang. they came together and she was checked out of the race, and he had it in his keeping from that point on, and he's raced away for a big win.
And of course, the Foleys are synonymous. We know of prefixes and suffixes with greyhounds, like the zipping dogs with the Hallinans. You'll find that Daniel and Jeanette Foley, they race a lot of their dogs with that suffix of Taro. So John Boy Taro is by Fernando Bale out of Queen Taro. It's his second race start. As I said, he raced here on Tuesday, first up, and he has got the cash here tonight. All right, let's head trackside. Mick Cowley is with the winner of the opening event here at Dawson Park, Dubbo.
Joined by Daniel Foley. Daniel, congratulations. First winner on the night of Country Classic.
Yeah, I'm real happy about that one, yeah.
Tuesday didn't get away as well as he did tonight. That was the key.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. His first start, he got a bit stirred up in the boxes and went a bit silly in there and missed it, but tonight he came out a lot better. So.
Now, did he show you a bit of this ability in pre-racing?
Definitely, yeah. No, he was trialling pretty well leading up to this, and I was a little disappointed last week, but he just muffed the start. So
one of those things. I guess box 2 was perfect as well.
Excellent, yeah, excellent for him because he going in second as well, so he didn't have to spend as long in there. I reckon that helped him. So yeah,
mate,
that was good.
Bit of a future, you think?
Definitely, yeah, definitely.
Mate, congratulations. First winner on Country Classic night, mate.
Thank you very much.
Well done, congratulations.
Thanks, mate.
Thank you to Mick Cowley there, and the Foley can all get the cash in the opening event here at Dubbo with number 9, John Boy Tara, who pays $6.10 and $1.40. Blue Smoothie for Craig Tuntler at $2.60. Drunken Ruby, Jeff Townsend at $4.40. Number 6, Wheeling, comes in 4 spots, so 9, 5, 7 and 6. Good luck if you've got that first 4. Pays in excess of $2,100. $4.86 first split, $13.71 coming home, $18.57. Is the overall winning time. The margin is 6.5 by 3/4 to race number 1 on the card here at Dubbo. And as said to me, race 8 is the big one. Again, we go back and look at this, the Country Classic, and how it's going to be run and won. And I guess, we've got a very short run of the first turn here from the 605 metre boxes. And look, the race can be run and won literally in the first 2 or 3 strides of that race.
Yeah, I really think whatever's leading through that first turn, Duke, will get the money because all the greyhounds can run similar times. There aren't too many greyhounds you would say in the race, a super strong greyhound, if it does get to second or third behind a particular dog, that they'd run it down. I think the majority in this race a front-running middle-distance greyhound, so whatever does lead at the first turn will be awfully hard to run down, and that's why I kept on finding one of the roughest runners in the race in Grimadara, because he's a great chance of leading. Even though he's got box 5, he's a bit of a wide runner, so he's probably better drawn in box 5 out to 8, so I don't think that's an issue. Bandit Jane, she's drawn box number 3. She'll get room to move, but yeah, you could, as we alluded to earlier, you could make a legitimate case for every runner in the race.
Yeah, and Grimadara is only a recent purchase for Jason Campbell and his syndicate. Jason's a young guy who's having a real crack as far as trying to bring people into the sport is concerned. They bought Grimadara. I think they only bought it the week before the heats and that. All of a sudden they find themselves in a race worth $125,000 to the winner, which is what greyhound racing is all about.
And I think they're actually going to send the greyhound up to Rockhampton for the Rockhampton Cup, but Andy said no. Hold off a week or 2, we'll have a crack at the Country Classic, and lo and behold, here they are in tonight's final.
Yeah, they're going to have a lot of fun with that dog. All right, we're going to take a break here on our coverage from Dawson Park, Dubbo. This is Country Classic night.
It's Greyhound Racing Supercharged. The Greyhound Super Series presents the Country Classic.
Anyone and everyone can own a greyhound. It's such a beautiful animal that's so well natured. Gap New South Wales have placed dogs in all homes. Young busy professionals, families, and really great as well for older people. They're great with kids and you don't need a big yard.
You won't find a friendlier, easier to look after dog than a greyhound. No wonder they're so popular. Every home is a greyhound home. Adopt today at GRNSW.com.au.
It's Greyhound Racing Supercharged. The Greyhound Super Series presents the Country Classic.
2 months ago, we caught up with Brian and Sue Barton on their property in the Southern Highlands. The Bartons didn't know it at the time, but they were only days away from watching their girl, Windra All Class, round out the story of a lifetime. Sue was desperately unwell. Stage 4 terminal brain cancer had made life tough, yet their sense of optimism and enthusiasm was contagious. Most of all, they shared a deep love of one another and their girl Annie. They knew she was good, but they had no idea her run in the 2023 Group 1 National Futurity Final was about to become the stuff of legend.
She looked good and she felt good, and we said, oh, you know, she just did everything right, and we were going to train her ourselves, and everything was just getting a bit too hard. I asked Daniel to train, he rang Mark, and they said, oh, 100%. I come home and told Sue, she went off at me.
Nothing against Daniel or Mark, please.
My dog. Why'd you give my dog away?
I sort of said to him about a month ago, I said, you talk about her and you treat her like we would, and you can't ask for anything better than that.
He's been so good for Annie, Daniel.
Yeah.
Just the way, just the best thing that's ever happened for us. He treats her well, has done the right thing by her, placed her well, and the way he can see the way he talks about her. So for her to take that out from, we've had her as in the yard here, reared her as a little puppy, and to win the Group 1, well, that's just the ultimate for a bid, especially in national futurity. And yeah, it's just something you can always say you've won, and to have her do it would be fantastic.
I've got Brian Barton here, been able to make it here on track, mate, and I can tell you, everyone I've spoken to, they're all cheering for you, buddy. How's Sue?
She was in the hospital last night until 12 o'clock, but she's inside, so we made it, so she's very excited, so fingers crossed.
How are you feeling?
Nervous more than anyone, I think, but 8 dogs in the race, so 1 in 8, hopefully we're the one.
Anyone with half a heart will be hoping that she wins tonight for the Bartons, mate.
Yeah, and she's a great chance, Duke.
Dan's been a big week, mate. Tell us how you're feeling and how is Windra All Class?
Yeah, I feel good. She's feeling good. Yeah, it's showtime.
So they are about to head towards the 520-metre boxes. $75,000 await winning connections of the Group 1 National Futurity. And Sue and Brian Barton have made their way to the front of the grandstand here upstairs. They've got a vantage position, and let's hope that we'll see tears of joy if Windra All Class can get the cash.
$5 about Windra All Class. So the green light is switched on, Lewis on its way. $1.60 mortified. Box 1 favourite, they're ready. They're racing. She was only out fairly mortified. Victor Marley away brilliantly from the outside. Will lead to the first corner from Baby JC and Windra All Class. They collided behind the leader. Up to fourth now is mortified. Then Mount Gower. Well back in the field. Then 2 Queen of Scots zipping Mercedes. Last David Blazer. Off the back straight and the leader Victor Marley from Windra All Class, who's just about on terms. Baby JC getting up on the rails. They corner. Windra All Class hit the front. Drew clear. Windra All Class has won the futurity. Beats Baby JC, third Victor Marley, fourth in Mortified. There followed zipping Mercedes, Mount Gower, Queen of Scotch and David Blazer. The time 29.86.
Windra All Class. Windra All Class gets the cash in the Group 1 National Futurity. Brian Barton and Sue Barton. How do you feel, buddy?
Oh, on fire. Happy with Dan, with all the work he's done. Sue's ecstatic, she's crying. It's unbelievable. It's just a dream come true.
It's unbelievable, mate.
It's a memory that Sue will never forget. It's going to stay with her and us forever. And it just brings happiness to us both. So, thanks, mate.
Well done, Barto.
Thanks, mate.
Well
Thanks,
done.
Mate.
Brian Barton gets the cash there with Windra All Class.
It's something special. I can't explain the feeling I've got now. It's for Brian and Sue. I'm trying to see Sue. I can't see her, but here comes Brian now. But it's unbelievable, mate. I can't say words because I won't explain it.
Well, you've experienced, you and your brother and your dad have experienced a lot in this sport. Pretty hard to top
close. Nothing comes close. Nothing comes close, mate. I want to see Brian.
Sue Barton, Group 1 winning owner. How does that feel?
I don't know. Over the moon.
You?
My first dog. Oh, come on, this is fantastic. This is above anything you could ever imagine.
And to be able to be here, I heard you were a bit down yesterday, but you managed to get here. That's a big...
Hospital yesterday.
You weren't going to miss this one?
I wasn't going to miss it. I didn't want to miss it. I didn't want to miss it for Brian either. So I wanted to make sure I was here for him.
What does she mean to you, this girl?
Oh, Annie. She's named after our anniversary. So she's called Annie Anniversary. So she means the world to me. The world. We read her and her little brothers and sisters, and she's just given us so much love. And the way Daniel has treated her and looked after her and just put her in every single race, and she's just won and won and won. So I'm talking, but I'm speechless.
You're happy, that's the main thing?
Oh, I think this just cured me.
Thanks, Matty. Race number
All right, here is the opening event on Country Classic night, and that is number 9, John Boy Taro, and John Boy Taro leading there. Total Glamour just checked off its outside and then dragged down from behind Timmy. And at this point in question, John Boy Taro is off and gone.
And you tip the opening winner, Duke. You're one up on me.
Well, it may be the opening winner I tip, but we got $6 about it. Race 2 on the card here is a 318 metre final. Runners qualified on Tuesday. And again, Tim, a lot of these greyhounds were having their first start. They may have run average time on Tuesday. Again, they're better for that whole race day, race night experience. I just turned around before because we have our backs to the crowd where our broadcasting position is, and probably half an hour ago there might have been 200 people here. I just turned around, and you can't see it on the shot there. There's the best part of 500 or 600 people here at least already.
At least. Yeah, they've rolled in very, very quick time, Duke. As you mentioned, there's only a couple of 30 minutes, 40 minutes ago, but now looking back there, it's really boosted, and I'm sure by the time we get to the final race, Duke, and the music kicks in after race 12, the joint will be pumping.
It sure will. Okay, let's take a look at this market for race number 2, the Ladbrokes Maiden Final. Over the 318 metres. Runners qualified here on Tuesday afternoon, and the Braddons hold a very, very strong hand here. Pam and Paul, or all greyhounds are in Pam's name in this event, and their favourite is number 7, and that is Thomas Express, who ran the hands off the clock, going 18-18 with a fast 471 first split. Had box 5 on that occasion, Timmy, came out running, moves to box 7 in the final tonight.
And gee, was impressive, Duke. He was really, really impressive. He showed that good burn, rushing to the top, and he put it beyond doubt in a twinkling. He raced away for a very easy win at the end. I've got him on top. I like where he's drawn. I think the big key to this race is number 5, Clint Keeping. He had box 6 when he won his heat on Tuesday, but all he wanted to do was crash to the inside. So I think Clint Keeping will make it for the greyhounds drawn wider out, Thomas Express and Isaiah Keeping. I think both of those greyhounds will come right into this race with Clint Keeping rolling across in front of those greyhounds underneath, Harold Taro, Nate's Fury. They've all got a bit of speed, but Clint Keeping might put pay to them in the first 20 or 30 metres.
Yeah, look, I'm actually tipping another of the Braddons in Flying Express, who moves from box 6 into box 2 tonight. He ran 18.54 with a 481 first split, so a length and a half slower than what Thomas Express ran. Both of those greyhounds, Flying Express and Thomas Express, out of the Group 2 Bulleye Cup winner, Pindari Express, who was an absolute flying machine on the track. Of course, we know what his deeds were on the big one turns and that. They're out of Hopes of Chance, who was a winner of a Breeding Excellence Award for Greyhound Racing New South Wales this year.
Yeah, and her latest litter, or the one prior to this, I should say, prolific winners. Oh, knocking on 18, 19, 20 races. So she's a fantastic producer, hopes a chance. So I think some really, really nice greyhounds will come out of this race, Duke. Some talented types, and I think we'll be talking about these in the coming months.
All right, number 1 is Seiko for Joanne Curd, finished second, running 19.08 behind Clink Keeping. He's number 2, Flying Express, as I said, the first of 3 runners for Pamela and Paul Braddon, and it ran 18.54. As I said, it had box number 6 in its heat here on Tuesday, 4.81 first split. And currently, well, it opened around 7.50. It's out to about 8.50. Number 3, Harold Taro, really solid in the market here, Timmy, at around the 4.50, 4.80 quote.
Yeah, he was only fairly away, but he did show a good turn of speed when he got balanced up. He did trial 18.18 the week prior, or I should say a fortnight prior to debuting on Tuesday. If he gets down to those figures of 18.18, he's right in this. He's a top chance.
Harold Taro is a little brother to John Boy Taro, who took out the opening event here. Number 4 is Nate's Fury, the second of the Braddon Kennel representatives. This one by Frau Frankie out of Flaming Fury. It ran 18.30. Absolutely nothing wrong with that time, Timmy.
Yeah, another one who began pretty well. Showed a great turn of pace rushing to the lead. Poorly drawn here underneath Clink Keeping. If he doesn't beat Clink Keeping out of the boxes, Duke, I think he'll be in a world of pain.
Good night, Irene, because as you mentioned, he just wants to crash hard left to the fence. Number 5, Clink Keeping. He's a bit of a blower in the market. 7.50 out to around the $9 quote.
But I will say, Duke, I think he's a greyhound who's got plenty of ability, and I think he'll be better when he just gets over a little more ground, up to the 400, 450. I think he's a greyhound to keep an eye out for, but in this particular race, I think he will need to absolutely lead ping.
All right, number 6 is Daily Gamble, I should say, for Amanda Gin, and it ran second here, going 18.75, finishing second behind Flying Express on Tuesday. It's a veteran of 9 starts, having start 10 tonight. It's run 2 minors.
You should get a little bit of room with Clink Keeping boxed underneath her, but she's got a couple of talented greyhounds on her outside. Look, I think this would be a real rough result if she was able to get the money.
It certainly would. Currently quoted around $101 with the corporates. Number 7 is the favourite, Thomas Express. Opening quote of around that 230, 240, in as short as 215, 210, back out to around the 220, 230 quote. But again, a greyhound that had its first start here on Tuesday, and again will be much better for that experience.
Yeah, ran an opening section of 471. He began brilliantly, showed a great turn of pace, rushing to the top, put them away. I like him where he's drawn wide out, where he can build up the revs. Again, I'm harping on this a little, but I think Clink Keeping will make room for those outside greyhounds to come into this race.
And Isaiah Keeping is certainly not out of contention either. It finished second behind Nate's Fury. It went 18.42 on the clock, moves from box 4 to box 8. And as you said, with all likelihood of Clink Keeping giving those outside runners a little bit of room to move, box 8, clear passage down the outside.
Yeah, the value runner in the race for mine. He was only fairly away here on Tuesday, but he did show good zip. He was no match for the winner, Nate's Fury, really. He was beaten a couple of lengths, but I think he'll take a stack of benefit out of the run. He is trained by Shane Stiff, so he'd know this track really, really well. I think he's the value runner in the race, but I like Thomas Express.
All right, my value runner is number 2, Flying Express for Pamela Braddon, who has 3 of the 8 runners engaged here in the Ladbrokes maiden final. It's worth $5,000 to the winner. They're at the 318 metre boxes and they're going in. Let's head upstairs. Here's Matt Jackson.
There's the green light that was on its way. Second here, ready to jump. And they're racing now, beginning fast, box 4, Nate's Fury spearing straight to the lead from Clink Keeping, settling down in third, wide out, Isaiah Keeping, and back along the rails is Harold Taro. Favourite just strung up a little, Thomas Express from Flying Express, and Daily Gambles, they're in the straight. It's Clink Keeping, a length and a half in front, and went all the way. Clink Keeping beat home Thomas Express, who rattled through late. Third, Nate's Fury. Fourth, Harold Taro from Flying Express. Then Isaiah Keeping, Psycho, and Daily Gambles. And the time is around 18.27.
Trouble on that top turn, on the home turn, I should say. We had Nate's Fury leading and Clink Keeping gave it a nice, decent old hip and shoulder, pushed it out of the way. Ed's got the cash. Finishing second is the favourite, Thomas Express. So 5, 7, 4 and 3, the numbers to race number 2 on the card. Trained by the Dubbo Club President, Shane Stiff. did want to crash left and crashed on the home turn and crashed Nate's Fury out of the way.
He sure did. He's a nice young pup on the rise. I didn't like him tonight from the alley, but he did. What he's done tonight just shows the ability he's got, and I think as he gets over a little more ground, 318 metres isn't his go, and I think when he gets up to the 400, 450 and ultimately 500 metres down the track, I think we'll see a nice young greyhound race through his greyhounds, grades.
Yeah, and there he is, as I said, he just, he had the fence, he wanted to shift off a little bit, and he had the momentum to carry him through, and Thomas Express ran on well into second spot after really not being a winning hope throughout the race, too far back after the jump, Tim.
Yeah, he just couldn't quite get across. There was a little bit of a scrimmage out wide. He got through, but it was all over at that point. He couldn't win the race, and when those two did come together on the home turn, Clint Keeping still had momentum. He didn't really lose any momentum. He's a big fellow. He's about 36 kilos, Clint Keeping. You wouldn't want to run into him, Duke.
No, you wouldn't. And Melinda Finn has caught Clint Keeping. She is with Michael Cowley. And, of course, Minnie and John Finn tonight have got a couple of runners in the Country Classic final. They took it out with Zipping Kyrios last year. They ran first and second. First and third, I should say. Zipping Kyrios and Zipping Panama. And Minnie's done the honours of catching Clint Keeping. She's with Mick Cowley trackside.
Minnie, congratulations. An early winner on the card, even though it's not yours.
Yeah, no, it was good. Shane will be very happy.
It's always good to keep the boss happy here.
Yeah, no, for sure. They work hard and do a good job for the club, so they're being rewarded.
Absolutely. Taking a maiden final like this, I know it's pretty special to someone like Shane winning the maiden final of his track as well.
Yeah, no, he'd be very excited, and they're big dogs and only young, so they've done well over 300.
Let's just quickly move ahead to Tanya Keeping in the big race. This track's obviously special to you after last year.
Oh, yeah, no. Last year was enormous, yeah. Very special, this track. Hope we can do it this year.
What's she got to do, Tanya Keeping? She got to be in front?
Yeah, no, she's got to come out. There's some really good dogs in it, and you can't afford to miss it on those bend starts.
All right, fingers crossed you can dance down that straight again.
Let's hope so.
Thanks, Mitty.
Thank you.
Minnie Finn there with Mick Cowley after the running of race number 2, and Shane Stiff gets the cash. It stays in Dubbo with Clint Keeping paying $11.80 on the toe. Started much shorter than that, 2.30 the place. Thomas Express the favourite, runs second, 1.30. Nate's Fury, 2.20. So the numbers 5, 7, 4 and 3. That first four, $245.60. Well, as I said, we had a massive night here 12 months ago when Shannon Knoll rocked the crowd. This week, or this year I should say, Jason Owen, who is runner-up on The Voice, is going to entertain what will be a big crowd here at Dawson Park later tonight. And Mick Cowley, Simon Orchard may have caught up with Jason Owen earlier tonight.
Joined by Jason Owen. Jason, big night tonight. You looking forward to it?
Mate, absolutely. It's so good to be back home in the Central West. Born and bred out here. I love it. It's always good to come back home and, of course, to perform. It's what I love to do and what I do for a living, and it's always good to come back out here and do it and give everyone a good night, what they deserve.
And the crowd's certainly pouring in. I don't know whether it's for you or for the dogs or a bit of both.
It's got to be for the dogs, mate. It can't be for me, surely. But no, I really appreciate it. It's so good to see so many people supporting such a big event, and it's so good to see such a big event back in the Central West, you know what I mean? Supporting all the local businesses and, of course, the local community in general. So,
mate, I remember we spoke previously and you said the community really supported you 10 years ago now.
They did.
It's good to be able to give back.
100% always, mate. I always have. When I come off X Factor way back in the day, 10 years ago, 11 years ago, whenever it was, I don't know where that's gone, but bloody fast, I can tell you that. We, I've always done what I can here in the local community of the Central West, fundraising for the drought, whatever I can. And of course, when I got asked to come back here for the event tonight, I'm here, and we've got some great songs. We're going to rock out. Everyone's going to have a drink and just enjoy the night. And that's what it's all about.
Sounds perfect. You've got two opportunities, one in between races and then at the end of the night. I reckon everyone's looking forward to the end of the night as well.
I think so. I think the end of the night's going to be the big one. We've got a few soft songs at around 20:15 there when we go on. Just a few ones leading into the night, but then obviously at around 10:30 or somewhere like that, we're going to come out for a big set of Aussie classics, rock and roll, and so we'll have a great time, mate. That's what it's all about.
And I'm looking forward to it. Also, if it'll cool down a bit, that'd be great.
I know, it's warm, isn't it, hey? Hey, absolutely. These eyebrows are catching plenty of sweat, mate, don't you?
Mate, I'm exactly the same. Buddy, appreciate you coming out tonight. Have a great night and look forward to the show at the end of the night.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for having me, and good luck to all the punters. Bring home a winner.
Thanks, mate. Cheers, buddy.
Jason Owen, I actually saw a clip of his the other day on YouTube. Bee Gees are one of my all-time favourite bands. He was singing Massachusetts, so maybe I can go and make a request and Jason can do it, but he will rock this crowd later tonight, Jason Owen. If you're in the Dubbo area or the close confines, and out here close confines is 100 clicks away, make your way here and Jason Owen will be entertaining the crowd later. And you can see they are rolling in here. There is the Ladbrokes maiden final winner, Clink Keeping. All right, let's take a look at race number 3 on the card. This is a mixed event over the 516 metres. Shane Stiff looking for a race-to-race double here with the unraced Jubilee Keeping by Fabregas out of Left Unsaid. A first starter, but as again, Timmy, have no doubts that Jubilee Keeping may have seen this track probably 8 or 10 times during its life so far. They educate their dogs here, they race here, and that's why they generally come up when you see a Shane Stiff or Charmaine Roberts Greyhound heavily supported first up. You know they've trialled well on the track. Yeah,
they know every little bit of sand on this track, Duke. They are very well educated, and Jubilee Keeping is beautifully bred actually by Fabregas out of Left Unsaid. Now, Left Unsaid actually was runner-up in the black top behind a greyhound by the name of Flying Ricardo. She was a very, very pacey type, so she's a big watch here, Jubilee Keeping, as far as the betting is concerned, being first up.
All right, it's not as if it's a one-act affair here. We've got Notorious Harada by Good Odds Harada out of She's a Felon, another well-bred greyhound. It is a greyhound that's had 21 career starts, just the 2 wins. 390, 360 about Sonia Keeping for Fiona Cole. Jubilee Keeping at $2.90, and the other one is Sub-Zero Sonia. Again, a well-performed greyhound with not a great winning strike rate, 31 starts for 2 wins, but 11 minors. It's at $3.90. So obviously, the whole market there is basically within those four greyhounds or 5 greyhounds. You've got $8 about Joe John off the inside for Wayne Dargan.
Yeah, Sonia Keeping, Duke, was really good winning here last start. Bolted in. There was a little bit of a scrimmaging in their race behind her, but she absolutely romped away. Just a little bit of a tricky draw, box number 3, but I think if she does begin cleanly, she does muster really well. If she can get to the top, I think she'll be winning Sonia Keeping. The big query is Jubilee Keeping, as we've just alluded to. We've just got to watch betting moves in the last probably 2 or 3 minutes regarding Jubilee Keeping as to whether the camp are keen on its chances first up. Sub-Zero Sonia, Duke, poor winning strike rate, having won only 2 of 31, but has run a number of minor placings. Only 1 win from 13 outings this track and trip. I think she's at the current crate at $3.90. I think she's unders. All right, I am tipping Jubilee Keeping purely and simply because of the scare factor that I have when Shane Stiff produced a dog here, unraced in a 516 metre mixed event, a 0 to 2 winners, I think it is. It's $2.90. The money hasn't come for it. That doesn't say the money will not come for it. It's been very solid around that price. He's already had a winner on the card tonight. Earlier in the evening, Mick Cowley caught up with the Dubbo Club president, Shane Stiff.
Okay, joined by Shane Stiff, president of the Dubbo Club. Fantastic crowd rolling in tonight. Another big night for the club.
Yeah, it's big boots to fill after last year, mate. You know how good it was, but we're very excited for the night. Excited for the racing. Best field of 600-metre dogs I've seen here ever. The race is building momentum. The heats around the countryside were great, and that is a showcase tonight, obviously, the race. But the people are starting to roll in. Jason Owen's looking good, so can't wait to just enjoy the night.
There's a real buzz around town about it as well.
Yeah, mate, we've had the radio going and the papers and all that, and people actually stuck with it. 125,000 to the winner greyhound race, you know, and it's really, really putting the greyhounds on the map.
And it must be real boost of confidence for you guys. Yeah, you held it last year, but wasn't guaranteed to come back here, but you put on such a great show, it had to come back.
Yeah, well, I didn't have to do much bartering over to keep it, which was a good thing. They were happy to say, well, wait a second, it was a good day. And I mean, 600-metre racing is stepping stone for 700. Half of these dogs will be in the Association Cup next week, and then everyone's looking at Newcastle. So, and it puts a footprint in districts, you know, Dubbo, the Country Classic. You can't call it anywhere else now, can they?
It's good to get people to the track. Yeah, it's not an easy thing to do, to get people out of their homes, out of the comfort zones, out of the pubs, and get them to the track. But they're doing it for this.
Yeah, no, the people want to come. we're very lucky here most Saturday nights, especially over summer and Christmas and all that. We do get a lot of families and all that. We cater for the young ones at Jumping Castle and all that, which you've got to do now. But a lot of them come just to watch the races, have a bet on a dog, whether they're a number and all that, and supporting locals, and we're just getting bigger and better. And you've got to base it around your community.
One of the last times I was here, there was a big fire pit up there, mate. Don't need a fire pit today.
No, it's quite warm. We've turned the weather on. There's not a cloud in the sky. It just got down under 33, 34. So another half an hour will be real good. The sun will be down. Track's in tip-top condition. Might even see a track record or two tonight.
You've got an association with Tanya Keeping in the main race. Who is your tip?
Mate, my heart says Tanya. But even me kick says Tanya too. Johnny and Minnie Finn are second to no one. They've done a great job with her. Charmaine will be at home cheering her on. Born, bred, broken in here at Dubbo. And it's a great thrill for us just for her to win too. Not only for that, for the dog too. It'll be good, but she's been around here plenty of times. She's got the most experience, so all's hoping.
Good luck with her in the final, but good luck on tonight. It'll be a fantastic night.
Yeah, it's looking good already, and best of luck to everyone, and thank you to everyone coming. Thanks to Greyhound Racing New South Wales for having the faith in Dubbo to put the race back on again.
And have a great night.
Thank you.
Cheers, bud.
Shane Stiff with Mick Cowley there. And look, it's part of Greyhound Racing New South Wales' real commitment to take big races to regional areas. And it's been a massive success so far. I mean, the Country Classic is one of those events. The Thunderbolt, we've got the 7:15 at Ladbrokes Gardens, the world's richest distance race, $500,000 to the winner. Again, the prize money just continues to go up and up. We had the Maitland Gold Cup yesterday, won by Lemmy Dad for Ruth Maddock and Danielle Maddock, and then here tonight, a $125,000 race at Dubbo. It's been a heartland of greyhound racing for a long time, Timmy, but if you had have asked any local 2 or 3 years ago, would you ever have a $100,000 race here, they would have locked you up.
Yeah, they sure would have. And don't worry about that, because Shane Stiff, long term, he wants to get this greyhound race up to $250,000 to the winner. So who knows what the future holds. But all I do know, Duke, taking these races to the regional areas, you get more cut through with the local communities than what you do in the big cities. And through the media campaigns with the local papers and the radio stations, it's great to see people roll up to the greyhounds again, because there's so many entertainment options in this day and age, Duke. But one thing, going to the regions, and I can tell you, I didn't go to Maitland last night, but they told me the Maitland Cup crowd there was the biggest in years. So the people are coming back to greyhound racing in these regional areas.
Particularly, and also you go back to the Gosford Cup during that holiday season on the Central Coast, massive crowd. So it's great to come here to Dubbo. It's great to see a big crowd. It's good to see the locals support it. We're up to race 3 on the card here, and the favourite is the unraced Jubilee Keeping for Shane Stiff at $2.90. Sonia Keeping at $3.50 for Fiona Cole. $4 about Notorious Errata from box number 2 for Jeremy McGrath. But the runner off the inside box is Joe John. And it is prepared by Wayne Duggan. It's currently around the $8 quote. Simon Orchard caught up with Wayne a couple of moments ago.
Wayne Duggan, Joe John, fair way from home, mate. What brings you out here?
Mate, I seen it on television last year and I thought I'd want to be a part of it, so I thought I'd bring a couple of dogs out, see the family and make a weekend of it.
There's a little bit of money as well, mate, at the moment. What do you think his chances are in this one?
Mate, he's drawn the right box. I think it's just important to jump. If he doesn't jump, then we're in trouble, but if he jumps, I think it'd be hard to track down.
Dixie Showben running later on in the card. What do you rate her chances?
Same, mate. She's coming back from an injury. So drawing the 4, she's the same thing. She's just got to get out. She's a little pocket rocket. So if she does get out, she'll be hard to catch. But first time here for both of them, so that's going to be the trouble as well.
You certainly look the part, mate. Is it true you're going to roll the swag out at the end of the races and just keep next to the track tonight?
Yeah, of course. We've booked out the trial kennels. I've got my little, she's nearly one next month. So I got my little daughter with me, so we're just rolling out the swag and making a weekend of it. So yeah, why not?
Good on you, mate. Best of luck.
Thank you very much.
Wayne Dargan there, who's got Joe John in race number 3 on the card. It's off the inside draw, Timmy. 9 starts, the 1 win, 4 minor placings. First up here over the 5:16 metres, first up here at Dubbo.
Yeah, first up over the 500 metres in his career, Duke. A query at the trip has only been racing over the 300 metres and got up to 401 metres at Richmond at his past couple of runs. Fair effort at Richmond when he finished third at his latest run. He has got the early pace to use box 1 to advantage and punch up and settle on the speed.
All right, so Greyhounds in the parade area, they are, and they're about to head out onto the track. This is the first of the 516 metre races. Jubilee keeping now. It's getting out, well, it got out to $2.90. It's now further out to $3.20, but we're still probably 2 minutes off start time. And I know Shane Stiff, and I know the way that Shane Stiff sometimes punts, and it is right at the very last minute. So just a word of warning there about Jubilee keeping, that the money hasn't come yet. It may not come. It may have trialled ordinary. But if it does come late, it's a great guide for it. And there you can see the crowd lining the home straight here at Dubbo on Country Classic night. And there's probably now, I reckon, Timmy, looking, there's probably 700 or 800 here, and we're seeing a lot more of the family, a lot more of the kids here tonight as well. So that's outstanding. Sonia Keeping is now into favouritism at around that $2.90 quote for Fiona Cole. Sonia Keeping by Zipping Garth out of Annabelle Keeping. That's 6 starts, 2 wins, and a last start winner here in 30 and 08. Nothing flash about the time.
Yeah, but it was the manner of the win, Duke. She didn't begin all that well. Then she mustered through. She rolled to the top through the first turn. Then there was a little bit of jamming behind her, and she was off and gone with the prize, winning by a widening 12 1/4 lengths. She's the one to beat for mine, with a query over the Greyhound number 4. The money hasn't come for it yet, so I've got Sonia Keeping clearly on top.
Yeah, I had Jubilee Keeping on top. I've still got it on top. The money, as you said, Timmy, hasn't come. It's got a case of the blows. 280 out to 340. See what happens in the next 60 seconds. But again, it's a Greyhound trained by Shane Stiff. First up over the 5:16 metres. There's Sub-Zero Sonia, and around 440, and look, it's been solid in the market as well. This Greyhound, 31 starts during its career. It's had 13 goes here at Dubbo, so it's well acquainted with a 5:16 metre trip. 1 win and 5 minors.
Yeah, runner-up at her past couple of runs at Richmond and around here at Dubbo. Solid effort at her latest run, but I think she's much better drawn over nearer to the inside. She's got to work cut out from box 6 tonight.
Dark Horse, number 7 for Jeff Kilpatrick, is one of the roughies at around the $31 quote, and Lamia Poppy for Gary Abernathy is also one of the real roughies at $41. So they're making their way towards the 5:16 metre boxes. The Country Classic courses run over the 605 metres, and that is on the top turn. And Minnie Finn here is handling number 3, and that is Sonia Keeping for Fiona Cole. And Jubilee Keeping is currently the second pick. It's 280 out to 390, so there's no money for the first starter.
I think the betting says it all here, Duke. The camp are definitely favouring Sonia Keeping by the betting. Jubilee Keeping, $2.80, getting out to $3.90. She's unwanted late in betting.
Yeah, and Sonia Keeping is the one that all the money has come for. It's $3.30 into that $2.80 quote now. $3.40 about Jubilee Keeping, $4 about number 2, Notorious Harada. Okay, I went with Jubilee Keeping. I've got to stay with it despite the blows. You're with Sonia Keeping?
I'm with Sonia Keeping. If she begins, I think she's got enough speed to get across the inside pair. If she leads, I think it'll be all over Red Rover. They won't run her down.
All right, this is a 516 metre 0 to 2 wins race. It's the Ray and Marie Smith appreciation stake here at Dubbo. I saw Marie a little bit early. I think Ray may be at Wentworth Park tonight. Palawa King and a few others he's got engaged there. So again, it's a big thank you to Ray and Marie Smith, who are great supporters here of the Dubbo Greyhound track. A last look at the market, and even more money for number 3, Sonia Keeping, and less money for number 4, Jubilee Keeping. Sonia Keeping is $3.80 into $2.60. Jubilee Keeping's gone completely the other way, $2.80 out to $4.40. Race 3 on the card is over the 5:16 metres. Greyhounds are being boxed. Here's Matt Jackson.
They've been able to achieve. Sonia Keeping, $2.60, the favourite. They're set, and they're away and racing now. Beginning well from box 3, Sonia Keeping, and she'll spear to the lead into the first turn. Getting checked seriously behind her, Notorious Harada. Getting up to second is Sub-Zero Sonia. Third, Jubilee Keeping. Fourth now is Dark Horse. They're followed by Lumia Poppy. Well back in the field as they head off the back straight is Lumia Layla. Second last, Joe John Notorious Harada last. At the home corner, it's Sonia keeping the leader by 3. Closing Sub-Zero. Sonia's finishing it hard. Sonia Keeping's holding on, and Sonia Keeping won it by a length and a half. Sub-Zero Sonia 8 lengths away. Third Dark Horse from Jubilee Keeping. They're followed Lumia Poppy, Lumia Layla. Well back Joe John and Notorious Harada. The time is around 29.60.
All right, 3, 6, 7 and 4 to race number 3 on the card. 3, 6, 7 and 4. The money was right. Battler, you were right. Sonia Keeping, first out and first home. I'll tell you what, it was aided by the fact that Jubilee Keeping came out of the box and turned right.
That's right. She got a beautiful run through at that first turn. She had all the room she needed, and she's run good time. She's run around 29.6. I'll tell you what, the run of the second Greyhound was really good. She looked a big chance coming to the home turn. She was taking a stack of ground off the leader, but actually on the line, Sonia Keeping was holding the second Greyhound. But yeah, well tried, and the putters have got the money there.
And they ran around 29.6, so a significant improvement on the clock for number 3, Sonia Keeping. There she is. She's got clear air early. Jubilee Keeping was in second spot at that time, just got a little ankle tap at the turn out of the home straight where we're broadcasting from, and she set up a massive lead down the back straight.
And as you can see, here's the second Greyhound, Sub-Zero Sonia, went out after, and she made up a stack of ground coming to the home turn, but her run petered out, straightening for the run in, and Sonia Keeping was holding her on the line. And I dare say Shane will race her through her grades before heading to Wentworth Park a little later where she matures.
All right, for the second time in 2 races, trackside with Mick Cowley, here's Minnie Finn.
Minnie, I'm getting used to having a chat with you at Dubbo. It's amazing. Another good win by another dog.
Yeah, no, she went good. I actually trained her last week when I brought her up, and I left her here with them, and she improved. Shane might be a good trainer. Oh, Fiona is a good trainer.
Shane actually said that Fiona's put 10 lengths on it in a week.
Yeah, no. Well, I might have to send all my dogs up to him.
Pretty impressive. Obviously, she's got ability.
Yeah, no, she has got ability. She's a funny little thing. She's a little bit timid, so she needs a small kennel, and yeah, the girls pay attention to her, and she loves it.
No, clearly, the jump was the key.
Yeah, no, for sure. We had her for the Gardens Maiden, the Rob Smith Memorial, and she drew the 8 in the final and couldn't cross, and that was it. Yeah.
Well, 2 down. Congratulations. Hopefully, there's at least one more for you.
Yeah, let's hope so.
Thanks, Minnie.
Mick Cowley with Minnie Finn. Of course, Minnie and John have got Tanya Keeping in the big one later tonight, race 8, the Country Classic final. So there are the divvies for race number 3 on the card at Dubbo. 3, 6, 7 and 4. Sonia Keeping 210, 150, 160, 230. The first 4 pays $74.70. We are awaiting the first 4 for race number 3. Timmy, we've got around a 30-minute break here. Trackside, Jason Owen is doing the first of his sets. Is this right? You're about to get up with him?
Oh, absolutely, Duke. We're out there rocking and rolling. Can't wait.
There is a great crowd rolling in here on Country Classic Night at Dawson Park. We're going to take a break while Jason Owen entertains the crowd. We'll be back shortly.
It's Greyhound Racing Supercharged. The Greyhound Super Series presents the Country Classic.
Anyone and everyone can own a Greyhound. It's such a beautiful animal that's so well natured. Gap New South Wales have placed dogs in all homes. Young busy professionals, families, and really great as well for older people. They're great with kids, and you don't need a big yard.
You won't find a friendlier, easier to look after dog than a Greyhound. No wonder they're so popular. Every home is a Greyhound home. Adopt today at GRNSW.com.au.
When you get a new best mate through GAP, they come vet-checked, worm, vaccinated, microchipped, desexed and lifetime registered with your council. They also get a collar and a lead. There's also a rehoming guide that gives you all the info to take care of your new best mate.
You won't find a friendlier, easier to look after dog than a Greyhound. No wonder they're so popular. Every home is a Greyhound home. Adopt today at GAPNSW.com.au.
lightning fast dogs, elite level races, electrifying atmosphere. It's Greyhound Racing Supercharged. The Greyhound Super Series presents the Country Classic.
Sunburnt Highway's deeds on the track are now firmly encased in the history of New South Wales greyhound racing, and he becomes the first greyhound to be presented with the Distinguished Services Award. Whelped in 2016 and raced by Judy and John Richardson and Gary Cluse, Billy faced the starter a total of 152 times, with his first success coming at Bulli in a 400 maiden on the 21st of April 2018. By the time his career concluded in May 2022, he had registered 51 wins and 47 placings, with prize money earnings of more than $355,000. The son of Oaks Road and Where's Kitty was a group finalist on 6 occasions, but it was at the spiritual home of greyhound racing that he eclipsed and created records. He scored his initial victory at Wentworth Park in May 2018, and more than 3.5 years later, he broke Bessie Boo's record of 34 wins at the track.
But it is Sunburn Highway looking to create history off the back. He led it by 4 on top of Phoenix, then Hello Dream and Striking, but around the turn, Sunburn Highway clear from top of Phoenix. He's getting very tired, but he'll see it through. Let's coronate the king.
He eventually raced at the Glebe circuit for more than 4 years, and when time was called on his career, he saluted there a record 39 times. An iron dog with an amazing will to win, Sunburnt Highway's biggest victory came in the $100,000 to the winner Masters Meteor Final of 2020.
Racing Sunburn Highway came out beautifully, so did Charlie Cockatoo. Charlie Cockatoo is going to lead Sunburn Highway. Hello Robbo, followed up by Ben Kenny Chick. A gap to Robbie Nose, Nangar Cash. They'll followed by Bondurant and Modus Operandi at the rear. Sunburn Highway let go mid-race and he burst to the top. Put a 5 on Charlie Cockatoo, Ben Kenny Chick, Robbie Nose, but around the corner, he's a grand old campaigner. This is a demolition job. Sunburn Highway bolted away with a Meteor.
We're here today to open this fantastic new racecourse at Muswellbrook. We're thrilled to be here. It's a beautiful day on a beautiful, shiny, brand new, safe racetrack for the Upper Hunter Valley, and we're so pleased about it.
Obviously pleased because this just looks incredible. The job that's been done here compared with a couple of years ago when we announced this is just amazing.
It is, Mick. It's a tremendous effort. It's a joint effort between the Good Burgers of Muswellbrook, the club, GBOTA, Greyhound Racing New South Wales, GWIC, all of the participants in greyhound racing, and we've pulled it together for this fantastic new turf track. The grass is beautiful, look how beautiful and green, it's all knitting together, and we're counting down the days till we can get a race on it.
It's not just greyhound participants though, it's great for the community here. We've used local suppliers along the way, but there's plenty for the community as well of Muswellbrook and the Upper Hunter.
So this track has been done in the way we will do all of our tracks in the future, using local suppliers, local contractors, local employees to the full extent that we can reasonably do so. And so it is a real community effort. This track will provide $20 million per annum to the local economy and 20 full-time jobs, equivalent jobs. So that is a fantastic economic boost for Muswellbrook and indeed the Upper Hunter generally.
What's been the reaction from the local participants around here? They must be excited. We're getting very close.
There've been 2 years without racing and a long time without TAB racing here, so to deliver a brand new first class, this is really a world class track here, to deliver a world class track into Muswellbrook with 52 TAB race meetings a year and all of the economic activity that creates both for the town and our wonderful participants is really thrilling. It'll be really good for everybody.
This is an incredible transformation. When you think about just 2.5 years ago, we came here and we listened to the local community and we listened to the local member, we listened to trainers, not just from Muswellbrook, but from right across the New England Northwest, in which they all travel. And we know that Greyhound people will travel great distances to race their dogs. So we heard how important this was in terms of that central location to have good facilities. So, 2.5 years on, this has been an incredible transformation from what was a tired facility to something that's fresh, it's new and it's safe. So to be able to be here today at a $2.8 million redevelopment of Muswellbrook Greyhound track is quite something special indeed.
Oh, look, I'm really excited about the potential. I'm really excited about the future because, tell you what, Muswellbrook, the dogs are back and we're really excited that this track will be up and running very shortly. This has given it a new lease on life and, the whole community is abuzz about what can happen on this track. The dogs will be running, but it's more than that. It's about families coming here and enjoying themselves. It's about people just being part of the whole industry, and people far and wide will come here to Muswellbrook and enjoy this great sport.
A few years ago we identified a need for more tab racing in this region. We set about a plan to make it happen, and today's the culmination of all of that. Spent a bit of money here, but it's worthwhile. The track's safe, the kennels are great, the facilities are good. It's the perfect picture.
And I guess it's the latest thing in bringing all of our tracks up to that safe standard as well.
That's right. Everything we've done is to minimum standard. If you look at the track, for instance, there's no way the track camber can be out ever again. We've ensured that we've got measures in place to make sure that we keep those degrees in the straight through the turns, and we'll keep it up to date and it'll be perfect for a long time.
Oh, look, this is a fantastic facility. It's got all the mod cons from a safety point of view. So research tells us that it's all about track design, and a lot of work's gone into the design of this track, and we see all the fruits of that work here today.
The 9-time Group 1 winner, Fernando Bale, was acclaimed as the best sprinter of his generation. But his deeds as a sire have now eclipsed his racetrack heroics. He again establishes new records by winning the 2022 Champion Sire Award, with his progeny victorious on more than 2,500 occasions during the season, yielding in excess of $11 million in prize money. He had numerous feature race winners flying his flag, including Corborn Magic, He's Grand, Good Odds Emma and Mapunga Ruby. But it was his daughter, Super Estrella, who captivated the crowds with her bold front-running style. In 2022, Super Estrella won 13 times from just 24 starts and was unbeaten in her last 7 runs. She broke Tornado Tear's long-standing 720-metre track record at Wenty, and in September she was simply brilliant in the Group 2 Sydney Cup final.
They're followed by Gypsy Wyong, next Corborn Magic, and Gap Believe So, and last is Zipping Virginia. But it is this superstar, Super Estrella, in full flight going through the catching pen. She leads it by 5 on Ariane Bale and Zipping Kansas. They're followed by OO Range, next Gypsy Wyong and Corborn Magic. Off the back straight, and Super Estrella, she still holds a 4-length lead on Ariane Bale. They're followed OO Range around the turn. Super Estrella's clear. She'll win again, an absolute star.
The fence by Shuttle Train, Jimmy Neutron well back on the race now as November Fury, Lochinvar Jet and Nessie's Thunder. Cyrus the Virus led by 2 over Billy Nudge all down the back.
If only this place could talk. Right here was the home to the Glebe Dirty Reds, one of the inaugural clubs of the New South Wales Rugby League in 1908. And those lunatics of the Speedway, they used to roar around here in the 1930s in front of thousands of fans. But when you think of Wentworth Park, there's only one thing you think of. In In the 1960s, Blacktop was the punter's idol. And then a few years later, it was his daughter Zoomtop creating all the headlines. The 70s saw some of the best stays to ever race, including the great Woolly Wong. In the 1980s, it was all about speed. Brother Fox set a new world record at Harold Park, and here at Wenty, Worth Doing was the undisputed superstar.
This is an exhilarating performance by Worth Doing by 20 lengths.
That was then, and this is now. In 2023, Greyhound Racing New South Wales will deliver the greatest Greyhound show on earth. First up in March, we head west to Dubbo. It's the world's richest middle distance race, the Country Classic. In April, the Golden Easter Egg is the one they all want to win with a 300 grand payday. The Steel City has the world's richest distance race in May, the 7:15, and $500,000 is on the table. And in June, it's Grafton's turn to shine with the world's richest short course race, the Thunderbolt. We also have Group 1s like the Vic Peters Classic and the Dapto Megastar. And there's a stack of other features including the Bulli Gold Cup, the Richmond Derby and the Masters Meteor. But the biggest one of all comes in October, the richest free entry greyhound race anywhere in the world. One race, one winner, $1 million.
The leader, Mystic Ride, Jamila Jack cutting it down, Mystic Ride digging in, a dream, now a reality, Mystic Ride brilliant, Good Autorada in the lead, Shivershine can't get there, Good Autorada will win the $10 million chase. Handsome Prince, a boulder clear, the former Tasmanian, Handsome Prince has won the $1 million chase.
Richard on and getting up on the inside, but this is greatness from a champion. She's of her wins the $10 million chase. McInerney, Tippy Kyrgios in the middle. McInerney hit the front, Tippy Kyrgios drive. McInerney's won the $10 million chase.
In 2023, history will again be made and dreams will come true. It is the greatest greyhound show on earth, and it's right here in New South Wales.
73. Not a great win rate, but I think he's a much better dog when he's able to assume the early lead. Zipping Aussie, pretty consistent dog around here. He's only won 5 of 40 here, but he's had 18 minors, 11 seconds. And he's been in the Masters for a little while now. He's had 2 seconds in his last 4 here at the trip. So he'll run well. And Corborn Cooper, he's been in the Masters for a while now. She's never far away. She's had a couple of seconds in her last 5 also here and also Gosford recently. And she can run well, particularly with the vacant box inside. I think they're just about the 3, maybe Plotted the 7 can certainly get into the money. All right, so over they go behind the boxes. Collison leads off. About to be locked in. So 230 Zambora Chase, 260 Zipping Aussie. On the tab fixed odds, and Crazy Cassie and Plotter both around the $7 mark. All right, so in they go. Zipping Aussie and Heidi's Gift is locked away with Plotter. Second line going forward, Crazy Cassie. Corborn Cooper, Black Mikey ready with Zambora Chase on the outside. Completes it, green light, Lua Travels. Race 2. Ready. Racing, Zipping Aussie moderately away, Corborn Cooper come out running, Zambora Chase rushes across now the jointed as Zipping Aussie works up to settle just behind them. 3 lengths away then Crazy Cassie, a break in the field, Heidi's Gift, Mick, Black Mikey, Plotted the tail ender, the leader Corborn Cooper, Zipping Aussie immediate threat, Zambora Chase dropped off a fraction then got up underneath it and run, Zipping Aussie right off, Corborn Cooper's left a mile in front and wins it over Crazy Cassie, Heidi's Gift third, fourth Plotter, a long break in the field, the Black Mikey and Zambora Chase had his mind on other things and he's still got Zipping Aussie around the outside fence in the time of around 23 seconds even.
Wes McDonald.
Okay, welcome back to our coverage here on Country Classic Night. We're up to race number 4 on the card. The favourite here is Pepper Keeping off the inside at $1.55. Fusion Angel is my tip at the $4 quote. And earlier tonight, Simon Orchard caught up with Fusion Angel's trainer, Wes McDonald.
McDonald, you got Fusion Angel jumping from box 3. What do you rate her chances in this race, mate?
Should be an each-way chance. I think the one will be hard to beat, so yeah.
Her brother Fusion Manu jumps in the next. He's about $1.40 at the moment. He's got some runs on the board. Is he the more promising of the two?
Yeah, he does go good. He's got early speed and he just quite can't get the 500, so might get it tonight. So.
Tell us a bit more about the litter, mate.
There's three of them actually. They've got the other brother at home. He's won 5 of his last 7 here over the 300, but yeah, they all go good, so.
And last question, mate, you got Chelsea out here handling this one. You got the son handling in the next race, mate. How good is it to see the kids involved?
Yeah, they love it. They want to get involved. They told me to leave my black and whites at home now, so all I've got to do is drive them to the track. So yeah, it's good to have them involved.
We should just say very happy Chelsea was to hand the interview off to you. Well done, mate. Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
Wes McDonald speaking with Simon Orchard, and Wes has got Fusion Angel here, my on-top tip, and there's number 1, Pepper Keeping. That is the favourite in the race, Timmy. Look, there's been money for it, even at the short quote, around that 155 into 145.
Look, she's got an undeniable chance, the one to beat, but I think she's rock bottom odds at that current quote. She's the Canamble maiden winner, Duke, in October last year.
Hasn't won since then, Timmy, in 4 starts.
She hasn't. She's fitter for 2 runs back from a break. She's well drawn on the rails. She can be very touchy at box rise, but she's got a great turn of pace when she does hit the ground. Look, clearly the one to beat, but at a ridiculous price for mine.
Number 2 is Jane Keeping, and this one is trained by Brad O'Neill. 3 starts back at scored here, running 18.59 over the 318 metres. Steps back up to the 400 where it finished 3rd here last start.
Yeah, and she actually dwelled on that occasion. She got moving mid-race. She settled 3rd and she kept on coming. She was beaten 1.5 in a bunching finish here last start. She's well drawn near to the rails, and she's one of the better chances in the race at a bit of value.
Pepper Keeping, the favourite at 155, has run 23.04. My on-top tip is Fusion Angel. Fusion Angel's broken 23 at its last 2 starts here. It won here 2 starts back in 22.98 and then ran 22.90 at its last run.
I'm keen on Fusion Angel as well here, Duke. She's a fast beginner. She's got plenty of early burn. She began quickly. She led early, but she couldn't cross a Greyhound on her inside at her latest run. And she stuck on really gamely behind that Greyhound Nangar Pearl in the run to the wire. Look, I think if she does begin here, I think she can cross Pepper Keeping. If she does, she'll be awfully hard to run down.
Active Thor is a 100 to 1 pop. Fire Up Aussie from box 6 at $26. Glitter Brulee at 101, and the same for Urella. The only other greyhound in the market is number 5, and that is Wade Keeping for Fiona Cole. Looking for a hat trick of wins here. 2 starts back, winning over the 318, and then ran a good 23.04, beating Pepper Keeping here on Tuesday.
Yeah, and it was a really strong win too, Duke. He was really strong in the latter stages. He's got a tricky draw in box number 5, but he is a wider runner. So he's out where he wants to be, but he's got to contend with those greyhounds on his outside who have got a bit of pace. He'll be looking to come across, and he'll want to run a straight line or even shift up the track a little.
All right, so Pepper Keeping for Shane Stiff is the favourite. It's around that 155 quote. I'm with Fusion Angel, $4.30. Now getting into around that $4 quote. Timmy, you're the same?
I am, Duke. I think she's a great price here. I think she can lead and pinch it.
Okay, we've got a beautiful look at the 400-metre start here. It's only about 15 metres away from our broadcasting position. Greyhounds are being boxed now. The favourite, and a very firm favourite, is off the inside, and that is Pepper Keeping at 155, but there's money now for Fusion Angel into as short as $3.80. It starts from box 3. This is race 4 on Country Classic Night. Here's Matt Jackson.
Wade Keeping at $8, and the green light is on. Lures on its way. Race number 4, favourite box 1. They're set and they're racing now. Pepper Keeping away reasonably down on the inside. She'll push through and lead to the back from Fusion Angel and Jane Keeping. 4th out wider, Wade Keeping. They're followed by Fire Up Aussie. Well back is Active Thor, and they're followed by Urella. And back at the end is Glitter Brulee. At the home corner, though, the favourites dashed away here. Pepper Keeping opened up 6, Jane Keeping, and Pepper Keeping all the way in a deserving win. Beats Jane Keeping and Fusion Angel. They're followed by Wade Keeping, Fire Up Aussie, Well back active, Thor, Glitter Brule and Uretta. The time around 22.70.
1, 2, 3 and 6 should be the numbers to race number 4. We saw how critical that inside box is off that bend start here at the 400 metres. Timmy, it was just able to hold the fence literally and hold them out, and it gave it clear air down the back.
Yeah, and she began much better tonight than what she has in her past couple of runs, Duke, and she just drove hard through the first turn. She's always shown plenty of potential. As I mentioned prior to the race, she won the Big Canamble Maiden back in October last year. That was a third run back this time in, and now she's really got a mojo back, and I'm sure there's a number of races in her. She's a talented young greyhound on the rise, Duke.
Yep, and a double for Club President Shane Stiff here on Country Classic night with Pepper keeping scoring. Okay, race number 6 at Wentworth Park. It sees the champ, She's a Pearl, go around, and She's a Pearl is coming off that devastating win in the Group 3 Tamora Cup at her last start, where she broke the track record. She defended her title at Tamora. I spoke to Andy earlier this week. She is back on target for the Golden Easter Egg, where we have heats next week at Wentworth Park. But Andy said she needs to run. He loves to race his dogs, and you may wonder why all the dogs are suddenly in Andy Lord's name. There's no conspiracy. Jodie Lord goes to Europe on holidays tomorrow, so of course with Jodie being away, she can't put her hands on the dogs, so all the dogs are in Andy's name until Jodes gets back anyway. But She's a Pearl, the undisputed queen of New South Wales Greyhound Racing. She is an undisputed champion with what she's done. She's got box 2. The query runner here is Hello Mike for Travis Elson, who I know has been staying with Johnny and Jane Carruthers and has had a couple of looks at Wentworth Park.
Yeah, look, she showed she's back to where her best, latest Tamora Cup win in that record time, Duke. She goes back to her favourite track. And the $1.50, she's skinny, but she's a Pearl, so you would expect her to be that price.
And look, when you look at it, she's probably going as well, if not better than she was last year, which may seem strange. Let's head to Wentworth Park. This is race 6. She's a Pearl, the favourite from box 2.
Set racing. She's a Pearl only moderately away, winning the start out wide. Ibrox Wildfire. She's a Pearl railing through her. Fasted Mel out wide going forward, then followed by Reflections. Then the Queenslander Hello Mike. Next was Go Bears. Last of all is Aglan Lawai. Well of it's ground into the back straight they go. Here's She's a Pearl. She revs up. She takes the lead by a length and a half. Running to second is Ibrox Wildfire. They'll followed by Fasted Mel and Reflections up to the corner. She's in front. She's a Pearl. Can she fend them off? She's a Pearl in front and will win at start 51. That's win 31 for the champ. She's a Pearl in front and won. Defeated either in a photo there, Reflections and Ibrox Wildfire. Go Bears was next. Aglan Lawai followed in by, next in the field was Fasted Mel. And it was one of the last into the pen in 29.79.
2, 7, 6 and 8. Look, she had to do it the hard way, but that's what champs do. Like 29.79, 5.39 first split. She was just off Ibrox Wildfire in that first little bit, but she's punched through down the back straight. She took off that real mid-race acceleration from her. Look, she's just that little bit older, that little bit more experienced, I guess, and she handles herself beautifully in a field. Like, she gets into a position where other dogs go, not for me. And Pearl, look, she hooked to the outside there of Ibrox Wildfire, went around her. She had to pull out plenty in the home straight, but again, you knock champions at your own peril.
Hard to burn the candle at both ends, Duke. When she really let go down the back straight, she put Peter Ibrox Wildfire in a twinkling, but you knew she'd come again, Ibrox Wildfire, because she's really strong. She had to really dig in the latter stages, but as you just said, that's what champions do. And she's run 29.79, so she hasn't run 30 dead or anything like that. So she's run quick time. She can run much quicker. She'll be better for that run, and she'll be ready to peak for the Golden Easter Egg Series.
Yeah, the grand final is in 3 or 4 weeks' time, you know, and Andy may have just given her a light week after Tamora. Heats are on next Saturday night. First 3 plus the 2 fastest falls go through into the semi-finals. First and second from the semis go through to the Golden Easter Egg final, which is on Saturday, April the 8th at Wentworth Park. $300,000 to the winner, and She's a Pearl will be looking to defend her title as she did in the Group 3 Tamora Cup last week, where she ran a new track record. That is the crowd. I can tell you, whilst that musical interlude from Jason Owen was on, the crowd revved up even more. And Look, I reckon we've got to probably be tipping around that 1,000 mark at the moment.
I dare say, yeah, 800 to 900, 1,000 people, Duke, who have rolled in here to Dub Vegas. And Shane Stiff, the president, he's quite happy with the crowd which is here at the moment. So I'm sure they'll pump up as we get closer to the end of the race meeting when the entertainment comes back on.
Yep, and you can see that gleam off the track, I should say. The water came on between races 3 and 4. As said, we're still around that 28, 29 degree mark here at Dubbo. Had a stifling hot day of around 38, although the locals said, no, it was a beautiful day, good day today, lovely day. There's Shane Stiff with Pepper keeping, and all the kids jumped the fence to get the photo. And Shane Stiff's got 2 winners already tonight here at Dubbo. All right, so a big crowd coming in to me, Jason, Owen, and also we've got a lot of guests here on course tonight, a lot of locals. We saw a lot of locals coming in. There were buses and that coming in as well. One of those special guests tonight is the CEO of Greyhound Racing New South Wales, and that's Rob McCauley.
Rob McCauley, CEO of GRNSW. You must be proud on a night like this with see the crowd and the atmosphere.
How good a night is this, Mick? In Dubbo on this perfect early autumn night. Great crowd, great atmosphere, superb lineup of dogs and trainers tonight. Everyone's excited.
And then we finish with a bang with the entertainment.
Mate, how good's Jason Owen? He's going to be superb. There's hundreds of people, thousands of people lined up to see him, so it'll be a lot of fun.
Now, this is what we want to see, isn't it? We want to see people coming back to the track.
We do, and you just look at the atmosphere here tonight, look at the crowd behind me, everyone is having a great time. 2 races in, the night has barely begun and it's a fun old time.
The main race tonight should be an absolute beauty. We've said that it's probably the best field ever gathered. That's what this race really deserves, isn't it?
It is a corker. I mean, it is the richest 600 metre race in the world. It is superb. You look at the lineup of talent in the race, both dogs and people, and you've got to be excited about that race. Everyone's asked me to give them a tip, and I'm refusing.
You've got to abstain, you've got to be fair, don't you?
That's right, you do.
It must be great to come out to a venue, country venues like this, and see the people, how much they do love their animals, but they also love racing.
They do love racing, and it's superb when you've got an organised club, like a really well-organised club with a whole lot of community support, like the Dubbo Greyhound Racing Club and Shane Stiff, its president, Courtney Norbury, its highly competent secretary. It's a lot of fun, and they draw a lot of people.
It should be a great night. Enjoy the racing. Enjoy Jason Owen after the last.
Thanks, Mick. We'll look forward to it.
Thanks, Rob.
Thanks, mate.
Cheers, bud.
Rob McCauley, who was at Lithgow the other day for a major announcement, Timmy, and for those people who don't know, Lithgow will become a TAB track in the very near future.
It will, Duke. Greyhound Racing New South Wales spending $3 million on the complex. Probably 6 months away from racing, 52 race dates a year, so once a week. So it's great for the area with Bathurst no longer with the track there. So it's going to give those in that area an opportunity to race because those Bathurst meetings have been shared around Dubbo, Gunnedah, Richmond. So they'll be able to race at Lithgow in maybe 5 or 6 months.
And it makes it very hard for people in those regions closer to Richmond because essentially it's Richmond and then Dubbo. There is no other track racing here in the Central West at the moment. So how far off do you think?
Probably 5 to 6 months.
Right.
And until at this stage, they might be able to fast track it, and we will be doing what we can to fast track. There are facility upgrades, but
so
we might be able to get
widen the track a little bit.
Yeah, widen the track, and then we're tinkering with the distances as well. So it's about 506 the current start, so it'll be thereabouts, extending the 287 and then the 600 as well. June.
And a 400 off that?
No, there won't be a 400.
No 400?
No.
Okay. So great news for Greyhound Racing. We've got some big announcements coming next week as well. So stay tuned for that. And Rob McCauley made his way from Lithgow he was at Perth, I think, yesterday. He's here at Dubbo tonight, and who knows where he's going to be tomorrow. Anyway, the big race tonight is the GRNSW Country Classic Final, $125,000 to the winner. And we mentioned before, Timmy, and it doesn't get any easier trying to pick the winner of this race because every single one of these greyhounds has a legitimate winning chance.
Absolutely, Duke. 3:30 Bandit Jane. She's trimmed in a little in the last couple of hours.
Well, she trimmed in the other day. They actually open around that 450 mark. So there's been a flood of money for her in a top class field.
Tanya Keeping has been very, very solid all week. She's well drawn in box 2. And Showman Jack for Johnny Smart. He's a greyhound who has got untapped ability. He can run flying figures. I know he did trial here before his first run a couple of weeks ago. And
over the 400 he went, Johnny was saying.
Yeah, and he did trial really, really well. So he's a greyhound. Now with a couple of runs, he was runner-up in the heat last week, and with that trial, so a couple of runs around here, he'll be ready to peak.
All right, the Victorians are here in force as well. We've got Valor Bale, Ailey Bale, and also Jackpot Joan for Glen Dayton. But Minnie Finn, we saw the raw emotion from Minnie Finn last year when Zipping Curios took out the inaugural running of the Country Classic. Her and her husband John have got tenure keeping in tonight's feature. And we'll start from box 2, and Mick Cowley caught up with Minnie earlier.
Minnie, take us back 12 months ago. You're walking down this home straight, arms outstretched. How did you feel taking out the first ever Country Classic with Zipping Curios?
Oh no, it was awesome. I'll never forget it.
You've been on record this week saying it's the best night of your chasing life. Why was that?
Oh, the atmosphere and the people, they were 10 deep and winning the race, and I had a lot of pressure leading into it because he went in not being a winner, and he got the bickies, and it was, big night.
Is the pressure off tonight? Tanya Keeping jumping from box 2, and her form has been superb throughout this series. How do you think she's going to run?
Yeah, no, if she comes out, if the right tenure turns up, well, I think she can go close, yeah.
Does she need to lead the win, Min?
Yeah, I think she does. I think whatever leads will win it.
Best of luck tonight.
Thank you.
Minnie Finn with Simon Orchard there. Tenure keeping a dual track record holder at Nowra and also at the Gardens. And we mentioned before that the Victorians are here in force. They occupy boxes 6, 7 and 8 in the big one. Jackpot Joan will start from box number 8, and Simon caught up with Jackpot Joan's trainer, Glen Dayton, earlier.
Glennie Dayton, look, not the dog that you hoped would be in the Country Classic final, but Jackpot Joan jumps from box 8. What do you give her chances tonight?
Maybe... hopefully a place. Let's just hope she gets out in front, maybe leads, and there's trouble behind. You never know, she might sneak a place. That's probably the best we're hoping for, yeah. So she'll give it her best shot, yeah.
You've done some hard yards for the series, mate, but what does it mean to be involved in a Country Classic final?
Oh, no, it's been really good, actually. I've had a lot of experience coming to the New South Wales and meeting a lot of good people, and yeah, everyone's been really good and helpful, so yeah, no, it's been good. Definitely would do it again if you had the chance, yeah.
You've been wonderful with your time throughout the series, mate. Wish you all the best tonight.
No worries, thank you, Simon. Good on you.
Glen Dayton there with Simon Orchard, and Glen has got Jackpot Joan from box 8 in the Country Classic final. Race 8 on the card here at Dubbo, scheduled to go at 9:14 p.m. local time. Okay, race number 5 on the card is over the 516 metres. It's a non-graded event here. We've got a scratching of number 4, Return Mac, who will take its place in race number 6 on the card. So Return Mac comes out of box 4, and it's a vacant box now, and the market looks this way. Mighty Boomer at $8.50, Black Eye Jack $7, $13 Monique Keeping. Similar quote there for Dusty Barbara. Fusion Manu for Wes McDonald, all the rage at $128. Irinka Zinthi at $11. Batley, how do you see this? Look, Fusion Manu from box number 7, a greyhound that 3 starts back, won here in 29.70, and then went to Wentworth Park, finished 5th behind Lady Divine, 2nd behind Nangar Chief here at its last start, going 29.50 for a repeat of 54 at win this.
Wins it easily. It was a ripping run last start. He began fast. He showed plenty of early dash to take control. He led, and he was only collared in the last 50 to 80 metres by Nangar Chief, who's a talented greyhound. Look, if he gets anywhere near that 29.50 odd, he'll win it and win by a big margin. I wanted Return Mac in the race because he went up early favourite, and Fusion Manu was backable with Return Mac in the race. Now he's not. He's at $1.28, almost unbackable for those who haven't got deep pockets, Duke, to put the big dollars on, but he should be winning. He should be the anchor in all of the multis tonight.
All right, so Fusion Manu, that Return Mac, look, let's say it was the favourite. After it came out, Irinka's Fusion Manu got to around that $1.30. It's in a touch into around that $1.28. Irinka Xanthi is starting from box number 8. It's $11 in the market, so 4th pick. And Luke Anderson is the partner of Kirrilly Woodhead, who is the trainer of 8 Irinka Xanthi, catching up with Simon Orchard.
Luke, she's got a hell of a record here at Dubbo, doesn't she? 6 starts, 3 wins and a minor. What does she like about the place?
Oh, I don't know. She just likes it here. She's been schooled here and then just continued on liking it here. So she's half a chance anyway. So we'll see what happens.
Is she drawn where she wants to be out wide tonight?
No, not really. I prefer her on the rail. I'm just hoping the 7 can come out running and she can follow it down. Don't know if she can run it down, but you never know.
Toughest to beat in the field?
Definitely the 7.
Would you encourage the punters to jump on?
Maybe for a place, maybe for the 2nd, but not for the win, no.
Best of luck, mate.
Thanks, mate. Thanks, mate. You don't need one.
Luke Henderson there with Simon Orchard discussing the chance of Arinka Zenti from box number 8. The other big thing with the Fusion Manu, Timmy, it's got average beginners drawn either side of it in Dusty Barber and Arinka Zenti. Then we've got a vacant box in 5. We've got a vacant box in 4. It's only got to come out on turns with them. We know it's got good early zip. You know, on our speed map that we were talking about earlier, it leads clearly here at the first turn.
Leads clearly at the first turn. 3 runs ago, as you just alluded to, ran 29.70, 29.54 when finishing runner-up at his latest run, and it was a tremendous run. He was only collared late. As you said, not a great deal of pace around him here. He should go straight to the top and justify the very, very skinny quote.
Yeah, and look, there's been no movement for any other dog, particularly after Return Mat came out and those opening quotes were shortened significantly. But off what we see, for Fusion Manu is probably the best supported greyhound in this event, and there is Fusion Manu on screen at the moment.
Yeah, the only probably danger in the race for mine, I had 2 winning chances when Return Mac was in the race, and now Fusion Manu clearly on top. But I can't take $1.28.
No, neither can I.
Oh, really?
No, I can't. No, I can't take $1.28.
There's plenty there.
I have taken $1.28 in the past. I think it was a greyhound called She's a Pearl. So,
Black Eye Jack Duke, greyhound number 2. He's a 22-time winner.
And the small field will suit him because he's a dropout run home dog.
Yeah, and he's getting up to 500 metres here after 2 runs over the 400 metres, so he's getting up to a more suitable distance now. So he's about the only danger for mine to Fusion Madu, but as you can see there, he's on the second line of betting at $6.50.
Yeah, and look, again, if you're looking to play the exotics, whether you want to stand out the 7 from the 2 and then throw the field in, it's $3 or $4 for 100%. It may be the best way if you're trying to get a bigger return for your money instead of putting the $1 on and getting $1.30 back. But I just thought Black Eye Jack, again, drawn near the fence. It's won 7 races out of box 1, a couple of races out of box 2, and as you said to me, a 22-start winner. It will be in the back half of the field in the early stages and probably down the back straight. But look for it to make a move, down the back on that top turn.
Yeah, he might even settle a little closer than what he has generally in his races, Duke, because he's had those couple of runs over the 400 metres, now back up to the 500, so he might be able to punch up and just settle, second, third, or maybe even fall through that first turn. But even if he does, I can't see him getting anywhere near Fusion Manu if he repeats what he did here last start.
Yeah, no, definitely in the camp of Fusion Manu. This kicks off the quaddie, and the quaddie will conclude with the Country Classic final. So the crowd, I can tell you, we are literally where people walk in and drive in, and they are still walking in and driving in. And we're an hour and 10 minutes out from start time, but a great crowd on hand, and realistically, to me, it's probably the biggest crowd I've seen on a greyhound track since $1 Million Chase last year.
It would be, Duke, for sure. There would have to be at least 1,000 people here now. And as you just mentioned, they continue to roll in. So
well, they are. We can see them. They're coming in through the driveway right now.
Yeah. So who knows what we might get to by the feature race, and who knows after the last race on the program, there could be 1,500 here. Who knows?
Well, according to Shane Stiff, there's already 4,000 here, so that doesn't matter. But
look, if there's anyone watching close by and you can get here in the next 15 minutes, we'll let you in for nothing. We've got a bit of pull on the...
it's a free gate from now on. Free gate. We've just made that decision. All right. $1.30 now about Fusion Manu for race number 5 here at Dubbo. $6.50 about Black Eye Jack, $8.50 for Mighty Boomer, and then $11, $13, $14 the remaining 3 runners. So if you did want to if you did want to play the exotics and that, standing out 7 from 2, and then you can throw the field in for 3rd and 4th, it's only going to cost you basically $3, Timmy. So $4, sorry. Yeah. All right. Race 8's the big one, $125,000 to the winner. I'm with Bandit Jane, you're with Tenure Keeping, but how do you see it in the first little bit?
I'm not with Tenure
Who are
Keeping.
you with? Oh no, you're with Grim Madara. Sorry, I'm definitely with Bandit Jamber. So, just those first 3 or 4 strides. How do you see it rolling?
Well, I think if Grim Madara begins like he can, and he generally does, he'll be punching for the lead. Bandit Jane is very touchy for mine. She nailed the jump here last week and then went straight to the front, and it was all over. I'm reading the race, Grim Madara getting across the lead. Jackpot Joan is a big key to the race, because if it does begin, if she can begin, she could certainly cross, cut and run at the first turn and lead. She's normally a front runner, and she didn't lead here last week, and her run was full of merit due to the fact she's normally a front runner. She came from 4th or 5th down the home running on the first occasion. So she's a greyhound. I don't think any has entered into any calculations to the form students I've spoken to, but I think she's a chance of cutting across and even leading at the first turn, and who knows if she's able to get to the top.
Yeah, and look, she was the second stringer for Glen Dayton's kennel. They had Dookie Devil in, who started favourite in the semi-final last week. But if you go back to the Temora heat of that country classic, it was a red-hot race. Dookie Devil ended up running Jackpot Joan down. Punters Bandit was in the race. Kenya Smokin was in the race. Palawa King was in the race. So, you know, it was a really hot race, a really, really hot race. Okay, we spoke about Black Eye Jack. Let's get the inside information here, because Simon Orchard has called up with Alan Provost, the trainer and owner of number 2, Black Eye Jack.
I sure have, Duke. Black Eye Jack just walked past. Al, do you give him a chance tonight?
Yeah, I'll give him a chance. He's a fairly old dog, but he's as honest a day long, but, you know, he'll be there.
This is start 105, mate. Has he still got that zest for racing?
He still likes racing, yep. He's won, I don't know what, he's won 25, 20 or something like that, or... Yeah.
He's won 22 races, mate. He's 5 years of age. What is it you love most about chasing, mate? What brings you back to the races every day?
Just the dogs. I love the dogs. I've loved them since I was a kid, so, yeah.
Good on you, mate. Best of luck.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Alan Provost there, who is the owner-trainer of Black Eye Jack, and as Simon was saying, 104 starts, lines up for start 105 tonight, 22 wins, 24 minors, and more than $54,000 in prize money. And Timmy and I were saying that if you're looking to play the exotics, maybe stand Fusion Manu out from Black Eye Jack and take your pick out the other 4, I should say, for 3rd and 4th, because there doesn't seem to be a lot between the rest of them.
There it doesn't, Duke, and you're just trying to look to get an earn out of the race due to Fusion Manu being as short as what he is at the $1.25. As you said, they clearly stand out, Fusion Manu and Black Eye Jack, and then the remaining greyhounds, they all are fairly evenly bunched.
And the money is coming, and I know it sounds funny, $1.30 into $1.25. The best supported runner is the favourite, and that is Fusion Manu, now into as short as $1.22. Black Eye Jack, second pick in the market at $6.50, and then it is double figures the remainder of the field, headed up by number 8, Arinka Zenthi. So we are both with Fusion Manu, so looking for an anchor in our quaddies here with Fusion Manu from box number 7. So they're beside the 516-metre starting point here, which is the start of the Group 2 Brother Fox, which comes up at Dubbo a little bit later in the year. And, of course, Brother Fox, this is Dubbo, the home of Brother Fox, one of the greatest sprinters in Australia, and subsequently one of the greatest sires in Australia as well, trained by Steve Kavanagh. And it all started right here at Dawson Park for Brother Fox. All right, they're being boxed for race number 5. This is the non-graded event over the 5.16. Here's Matt Jackson.
$1.22. He's going to jump, and they're set. Race 5 ready. Racing now. Fusion Manu left well. Will burn across down past the post and lead clearly to the first bend. Into second placing Black Eye Jack, Irinka Xanthi over 3rd, and 4th is Monique Keeping. They're followed Dusty Barbara, last Mighty Boomer. But it's the short-priced favourite down the back, Fusion Manu, who's opened up a big lead, put up 10 lengths quickly. Irinka Xanthi moved to second. They're followed then by Monique Keeping. but around the home turn. This is a pretty painless watch if you were on the favourite, Fusion Manu, all the way. Scored by 6 Irene Kazanthi, third Dusty Barbara, fourth Black Eye Jack from Mighty Boomer and Monique, keeping the time sharp. It's around 29.50.
7, 8, 6 and 2. That was all over. Literally just out of the boxes. When Black Eye Jack was in second spot here, I thought we've nailed the exotics that we were talking about, and lo and behold, he finishes fourth. So 7, 8, 6 and 2. Fusion Manu, it was a safe ride for favourite punters there, running around 29.50. 29 and 50 for Fusion Manu, prepared by Wes McDonald. Now takes its record to 18 starts for 7 wins and 4 minors. And look at that, begins sweetly. The white wants to hook right out of the box, which is Monique keeping. Fusion Manu straightens up, balances up, and by the time they've gone past us here at our broadcast spot, Timmy, 2 or 3 in front, and he was never going to get beat from there on.
And a very easy ride for those punters who stepped into the really skinny quote, and he's run right up to what he did here at his latest run, running around 29.50, leading all of the way. And on that victory and what he's done at his past couple of runs, I dare say Wes will be heading back to town to have a crack at Wentworth Park again. He's been there a couple of times. With those box manners and his early speed, there's certainly a city race in him, Duke.
Yeah, there's a grade 5 in there. All right, Mick Cowley is trackside. He's with Wes McDonald's son, Bailey, who handled the winner.
Hey, congratulations. Nice easy ride, wasn't it?
Yeah, he's a good dog. He's a real good dog, yeah. He's just got to jump and then that's it.
I guess that was the thing. Once he jumped in front, it was race over effectively.
Yeah, this corner helps him out a lot. Like he just comes and swings around it real nice.
Has Dad and Mum got a good opinion of this dog?
Yeah, he's a pretty good dog. He just barks a lot at home, but yeah, he's a pretty good dog.
Right, what's it like to handle a winner on a night like this?
Oh, yeah, it's pretty good, yeah.
Big crowd. You come here a lot, obviously.
Yeah.
Big crowd. It must be good to see this sort of people here.
Yeah, there's a fair few people here. It's pretty good.
Well, congratulations. You're a winner on Country Classic night. Well done.
Thank you.
Thanks, mate.
And my apologies there, but my director in the studio told me it was Bailey McDonald. It's actually Riley McDonald. And you know what, Timmy? There is the future of greyhound racing right there.
It sure is, and how happy was he to get a winner at all, leading a winner on Country Classic night, young Riley. And yeah, he's a greyhound, as we said. I think he can go to town and knock off a couple of races, Duke. He loves racing around here, Fusion Manu, and as we said, with that early speed, he's got a few more wins in store.
Yeah, sure has, and there's definitely a grade 5 in store for this greyhound at Wentworth Park when Wes heads that way. So that is race number 5 on the card. Race 6 is a top grade event. There's Riley with Fusion Manu at the presentation dais, and that leads us into the Barcia Blue Boy at stud final. Coming up at 8.27 there at the Divies, 120 and 104 for Fusion Manu, 7, 8, 6 and 2 the numbers. Arinka Xanthi pays $2.60, no third. The first 4 pays $29.90. Let's take a look at race 6 on the card here at Dubbo. It's over the 318 metres, another good prize money event. $5,000 going to the winner. Don't forget $125,000 on offer for the Country Classic final. And Return Mac, who was scratched out of that previous event, will start from box 3 here in race number 6. And Return Mac is second or third pick in the market. The favourite is number 5, Clara Chance for Pam Bratton. It is 2-1 in the old. We've got $3.60 about Charlie Revenge for Melanie Mabbott, who is a prolific trainer of winners in the Central West area. And Charlie Revenge will start from box 7. $3.70 about the first reserve, Return Mac, who starts from box number 3. And then Lightning Blazer at $4.80. So
Clara Chance.
$7 about Golden Bullet, part owned by Steve McGrath, the old Tweed Heads Greyhound Club. Steve and Rod Collins are here here tonight. So Golden Bullet owned by a large number of syndicate trained by Shane Stiff. Look at that, the crowd, they're packed. They're on the the fence here at the home straight, Timmy?
Gee, I think the bar sales will be well and truly up tonight. Everyone does seem to be having a good time, and it's great to see the families here, the young kids, Duke. That's what
There's
it's
Annie
about.
Barnes.
Sure is. Look at the kids.
Yeah.
They're the future, Duke.
They are. And I mean, that's what we see young Riley McDonald in that. And that's what Greyhound Racing, as I said, talking earlier to me, we come to the Central West and we see these families that are synonymous with the sport here. The Braddons, the O'Neills, the Foleys, the Barnes, the Smiths, the Stiffs, it's great to see, and as quite rightly, if we don't have that next generation coming through, where do we get them from? Because I tell you what, the kids where I live in Woolloomooloo in Sydney, they ain't training greyhounds.
That's for sure. Woolloomooloo. Geez, you are travelling well.
Please. Used to be the hub of greyhound training. Bar sales will be up, I guarantee you that. All right, we're going to take a break here on Country Classic Night. Hope you're enjoying our coverage, no matter where you're watching from. We've got people watching in Hong Kong tonight, Timmy. Also in the United States. We've got Russ Phelan over in the States, our gas man looking after our exploitation of gap dogs and that. Russ is tuning in from Houston tonight. So g'day to you, Russ, and g'day to everyone watching. Hope you're enjoying. Quick break, back with more Country Classic Night.
It's Greyhound Racing Supercharged. The Greyhound Super Series presents the Country Classic.
Anyone and everyone can own a greyhound. It's such a beautiful animal that's so well natured. Gap New South Wales have placed dogs in all homes. Young busy professionals, families, and really great as well for older people. They're great with kids and you don't need a big yard.
You won't find a friendlier, easier to look after dog than a greyhound. No wonder they're so popular. Every home is a greyhound home. Adopt today at GRNSW.com.au.
It's Greyhound Racing Supercharged. The Greyhound Super Series presents the Country Classic.
We are thrilled to be in beautiful Lithgow on this stunning day to announce a great big track upgrade to Lithgow, to upgrade it to TAB status, once a week racing, 52 race meetings a year plus special events, full track upgrade, full safety features and a full upgrade to patron facilities. This is the first major upgrade to this track in decades, and we are thrilled to be doing it. The safety of our greyhounds and the enjoyment of our participants and fans is very important to us, and we are absolutely pleased to be announcing this today. So the whole motive for doing this track upgrade is to get the best possible safety standards for our racing dogs. Our athletes run around this track once a week and we want them to be safe. Every participant in New South Wales wants our dogs to be first and foremost in our mind, both of welfare and safety, and that is the very genesis of this project. The Lithgow Greyhound Racing Club, that has advocated strongly for this project for years, has been at the forefront of moving it. We have today here the Deputy Premier of New South Wales, Paul Toole, who is happily enough the local Member of Parliament, who has also advocated very, very strongly for this development to take place, and we are thrilled to be doing it.
Look, really exciting, and what an announcement here for the Central West. When you have a look at the Lithgow Greyhound Racing Track, it has been around since 1928. It's the oldest track that we have here in Australia. And today, to be able to see the announcement being made of $3 million is going to be a major upgrade to racing here, not only for Lithgow, but for the Central West. And while we're going to see safety upgrades made to the track, it's going to be widened, it's going to be lengthened, and this is going to allow 52 TAB meetings being held a year. But this is also going to create 20 jobs here in the local area. It's going to generate about $20 million back to the local economy. So this is more than greyhound racing. This is actually going to help to drive the local economy. I want to thank Greyhound Racing New South Wales for the work that they have been doing. They have been investing in tracks across New South Wales, but especially in those tracks in regional New South Wales, because we are making sure that Greyhound Racing is going from strength to strength. And it's the vision and the work that we're seeing, like investments like this in Lithgow, that are making the world a difference.
So we're very grateful, Greyhound Racing New South Wales, for the investment in this track. We've had a lot of stalwarts over the years, very strong supporters, a lot of greyhound trainers, and I'm so pleased for them that this upgrade's going to occur. It's so good. It's going to be so good for the community and the whole local area.
Without this announcement, Lithgow would be like many other tracks in the state that eventually may never go on into the future. This is an outstanding effort by all involved, and we are most grateful. It will help initiate more people come in here from the mountains area in Sydney. We're very well centrally located, not too far out of Penrith in the western area of Sydney. And I think to know that we're going to get 52 race meetings here a year is something that only people in Lithgow that follow Greyhound would actually really they probably are in a state of shock this morning, because this is I was when I heard the announcement. I think it's amazing. It's going to bring about $20 million extra in revenue with tourism, fuel, food, etc. I think it's something that is really needed. We're very, very happy. I'm delighted, and I wish everybody the very best.
And of course, as Timmy and I were talking about earlier, that upgrade coming at Lithgow, and we expect Tab Racing will replace Bathurst there, 52 meetings a year. Will we still look at that Monday afternoon time slot, because there's no lights at Lithgow?
No, there isn't any lights, so we might look at that. It'll either be Monday or Tuesday when Lithgow's meetings will be on, but we do need to discuss that further, which we will do in the next 3 or 4 weeks when we sit down to go through race dates for the next financial year.
Yeah, okay, and as I said, there's more announcements coming in the following week around greyhound racing in New South Wales, particularly trial tracks as well. So all participants should be keen to hear what's coming next week with Greyhound Racing New South Wales announcements. This is a good race coming up, Timmy. $5,000 to the winner, the Barcia Blue Boy at stud final, who won a Group 2 Bulleye Gold Cup, trained by Pete Lagosiani, and the favourite here is Clara Chance. For Pam Braddon at $3. The second of her runners is number 1, Lightning Blazer at $4.80. So hard in the market, as they always are here at Dubbo, the Braddon runners. And earlier tonight, Simon Orchard caught up with Pam's husband, Paul.
Paul, Lightning Blazer and Clara Chance, 2 choices for this race, mate. You got to lean either way?
Oh, I'd have to go for her. She's the better sprinter, but box 1 gives him a big chance. He loves the inside, so.
Talk a bit about Clara Chance's litter, mate. They've just taken all before them over the last 12 months in particular. Have you been surprised, or did you knew that was in the cupboard?
No, they all showed a lot, and they all showed a lot of early speed out of the boxes, and that wins all the 300-yard races, really, the early speed.
And, mate, we saw a little sneak peek of what the next litter maybe has to offer earlier in the program. Are they going to be just as good?
I think so, yeah. And they'll go a bit further, I'd say. 450 easy, I think. Maybe further.
Great stuff, mate. Well done to you and Pam. Good luck in this one.
Yeah, thank you very much, yeah.
Paul Braddon with Simon Orchard there, and Paul's handling Lightning Blazer. I hope that is a pointer, because I've put Lightning Blazer on top of the rails draw. It's had 9 starts off the red, Timmy. 5 wins, 3 minors. It ran third here on Tuesday, going 18.23 behind Charlie Revenge. Look, he's a big dog. He's not brilliant at box rise. He's steady, but he does want the fence.
Yeah, he's a weapon when he gets rolling, though, Duke. He's got a great turn of speed. He was runner-up here 3 runs ago behind Clara Chance in track record time from box number 1. He's going to get every chance to drive up here. There's plenty of early pace in this race in 2, 9, 4, 5, 7. Charlie Revenge lid pinged at its latest run to lead all of the way. So it'll be a mad drive to the first turn. I think he's going to get every chance from that Cherry to drive up and take control by the first turn. I'm like you. I've got Lightning Blazer on top, and I think he's at a real backable price, Duke.
He is. He's around that $4.60 quote. We talk about the kennel mate, and that is Clara Chance, and we spoke about Hopes of Chance a little bit earlier tonight, and Hopes of Chance was a winner of a Greyhound Racing New South Wales Distinguished Breeding Excellence Award Award for 2022. And Clara Chance is one of those flag flyers for Hopes of Chance. It's got box 5, and you mentioned 3 starts back, a track record here of 17.88, beating Lightning Blazer by, what was it, just under a length.
Yeah, ran 4:59 opening fraction, which is absolutely hiking here. At its latest run, Clara Chance, she began fast. She was charging to the lead, but there was a greyhound just punched up underneath and she just couldn't quite get across. But her run was really good when she finished a narrow runner-up. She handles all boxes, Duke. She's a winner from box 1 all the way through to box number 8. She's got an undeniable chance. She's a 16-time winner and she's won 11 of those around here.
What about her record, but Timmy? Her overall record, 38 starts, 16 wins, 18 minors. She's only been out of the money 4 times. I mean, and that's synonymous again with the Braddons. They race their dogs continuously around this sort of circuit and that. But those Hopes of Chance, they're just absolutely lightning over the 300 and 400s.
Absolute flying machines, Duke, and she's an absolute little ripper. She's only around the 28 kilo mark, but she's got those outstanding box manners and that brilliant early speed to overcome any draw. The issue she's got in this race tonight, there's so much pace and so much talent in this race. She's got to overcome that tricky 5 alley, but she can do it if she begins on turns.
All right, so Lightning Blazer, we're both tipping it off the inside. He's a greyhound that's a 7-time winner here, 17 career wins overall. Around that 440, 460 quote. Number 2 is Stinger Casey for Peter Carr, $16. It's been out of the winners list its last 3. Its last win was a Gunnedah in average time from box 8. Winless in 2 starts out of box 2.
Yeah, he was able to sneak into this field just at his latest run. Look, he does need to lift on his past couple of runs. He has got box 2, which is an advantage, but he will need to lift.
Box 3 is a scratching. The first reserve Return Mac goes into there. Track record holder here over the 400 metres, but again, big blows on the betting here, Timmy. 250 out to 440.
Yeah, and I'm a little worried about his preparation too, Duke, because he went around in the heat over the 318 metres, but he was nominated for a 500-metre race tonight. So it would be interesting what Shane Stiff has done with him during the week, because he would have been training him, in my opinion, to get him ready to run 500 metres, not the 318 in which he's in tonight. So I think that's a big factor here. He's only going to run early today, so he didn't go to run earlier on in the week when there was an early scratching, so it was only this morning. So how he's been trained during the week, he might have had a hard week on the training track to get him ready for that 500 that he was entered for and then ultimately scratched. So I'm not surprised we've seen a drift with him.
Okay, the second of Shane Stiff's runners in race number 6 is number 4, Golden Bullet. Young dog on the way up. The toughest test by far for him tonight. 11 starts, 6 wins, 3 minors. 9 starts here, 4 wins, 3 seconds. Ran the best race of its life here over this trip when finishing second behind Charlie Revenge. Beaten 2 1/4 lengths, going 18-18 on the clock.
Yeah, ripping run, but gee, he's facing some old hardheads here. He's a greyhound who's well and truly eligible for easier races than this. I don't think tonight is his night for just due to the fact where he's drawn and the greyhounds, the calibre of greyhounds he's got all around him. But Duke, he's a greyhound who no doubt will end up winning, I think, 15, 16 races like a lot of these greyhounds in this race have.
All right, we spoke about Clara Chance, and it is favourite at the moment around $3. Tippy Taro, a late scratching from box 6. Charlie Revenge, another massive hope in this. And look, it's been easy, but it's been solid. I know that's a contradiction of terms, but it's been around that $3.30, $4 back in, back out sort of thing. And its win here the other day going 18.01 was top class.
Yeah, it went early section of 461. She absolutely nailed the jump and went straight to the top and never headed. She's got a great chance, Duke.
All right, Messi Taro for the Foley family is the rank outsider at around the $31. Timmy and I are both with number 1, Lightning Blazer. This is the Barcia Blue Boy at stud final. It's worth $5,000 to the winner. Greyhounds are about to be boxed. Here's Matt Jackson with his call.
So they're just about all ready. Clara Chance, box 5, favourite 310, 390 Charlie Revenge, 420 Return Mac. They're set to run. Race 6 ready. And they're racing now. It was a lovely even dispatch out. Fast Golden Bullet with Clara Chance. They match motors early. Third Lightning Blazer, fourth Stinger Casey. They're followed then by Return Mac, Charlie Revenge and Messi Taro at the home corner. What a battle up front. Golden Bullet and Clara Chance. Golden Bullet kicks strongly. It's the Shane Stiff show. Golden Bullet beats home Clara Chance. Third, I think it'll be Stinger Casey in front of Return Mac, and they're followed Lightning Blazer, Messi Taro and Charlie Revenge. The time around 18:20.
4, 5, 2 and 9. 4, 5, 2 and 9 gives Shane Stiff a winning treble here on Country Classic night, and Golden Bullet came out running. There was good pace from Lightning Blazer, but then couldn't go with it. And then we saw pace also from number 5, Clara Chance. 1, 2, 4, no. 4, 5, 2 and 9. 4, 5, 2 and 9 the numbers. 4, 5, 2 and 9. 18:20 the time.
Easily the youngest greyhound in the race, Duke, a May 21 whelping. He was racing some greyhounds who have a hell of a lot more experience than what he has got, and he's upstaged them tonight. He's a young dog on the rise. It was his toughest test to date, Duke, and he has come through with flying colours.
And look, it's another big feather in the cap of syndication. Shane Stiff works very hard here getting new people into the greyhound racing industry, and there are a number of owners in Golden Bullet. One of them is Steve McGrath, who was the boss of the old Tweed Heads Club. I saw him earlier tonight. I said, "Are you any hope?" He said, "No hope." So good judge, Steve McGrath. Golden Bullet, look, he did it tough and he did it well.
He sure did, Duke. He had to do it the hard way from box number 4. Look, Clara Chance got in front of him here, put the pressure on. Just remember, Clara Chance is a greyhound who's won 16 races, has got around 39 times. He's a greyhound Golden Bullet. He is lining up for only his 12th run tonight, and he's been able to burrow up on the inside. He's a lovely looking type. He's about 32, 33 kilos. A beautiful looking red fawn dog, and yeah, he's got a nice future ahead, Duke, and it'll be interesting whether he can get up over 400 and get toward 500 later on in his career. But what he's showing now, Duke, he's going to knock up winning many races.
Yeah, he's 22 months of age at the moment, 12 career starts, 7 wins, 3 seconds. And $15,000 in prize money. 4, 5, 2 and 9, the official numbers to race 6 here at Dubbo. And the time there around 18:20. And Shane Stiff, 3 winners on the night. He'd be happy with the crowd here, because by the time that race came around, Timmy, we had people down here just near our broadcast box. We are at the bottom of the home straight, and I imagine Mick Cowley has got a very happy Shane Stiff with him right now.
I do indeed, Mark. A very happy Shane Stiff. That's the syndicate dog, isn't it?
Yes, Dubbo Greyhound Club, first dog we syndicated, and there's 20 very happy owners in the middle there, first dog they've owned, and mate, he's a little pocket rocket, as I said. I couldn't tip in the race. Most of the dogs in the race have won more races than he's had starts. And he just keeps improving. A big thanks to Nolene Walsh out there at Ningen, and we've all heard dogs. She give it to the club, and then we syndicated him, and mate, I think he's got a very good future.
He only stepped up to that grade after Tuesday's run, didn't he?
Yeah, well, he went, I thought he was 4th grade, want him in the 400, and then poor old Graydon boys shafted me and said no, he's gone to 3rd grade because he did win the heat and final, and just I calculated bad, so we said, oh well, he's at home, we'll step him up here, and I didn't think he could beat the dogs, the calibre of that race, the Paul Braden dogs and all that. They're good seasoned 300 metre dogs, and we want to push him on to 400 and see what he can run now. So very good. Very happy for the owners, all the first owners.
But I guess that's the big thing. On a night like this, to have a syndicate celebrate, have a winner on the track is fantastic.
Mate, have a look at them all there. Have a look at them. They're wrapped. So I'm over the moon. Happy for them.
And you've had a fair night so far?
Night's not over yet, mate.
Good luck for the rest of the night, mate.
Thank you very much, Ta.
Right.
Shane Stiff, the trainer of Golden Bullet. He's got a very short price favourite in race number 7, Melissa, keeping off the inside. Shane Stiff blowing up about grading about one of his dogs. That'd be a first battler.
He's at the top of the tree, one of his best. But that is fantastic to see, Duke. Look at that. And when they came up with this idea of syndicating this greyhound 12 or 18 months ago now, they actually came to Greyhound Racing New South Wales and just got the all clear that they were able to do it as a race club, and we were more than happy to give the okay for it to go ahead, and they've done a tremendous job. He's a greyhound who's got plenty of ability. They knew early on that he could run, but now what he's doing on the track, whether they thought he'd get to where he is so early is another matter. And Shane did make a very good point there. The greyhounds in that race have won more races than what he has had starts. That was only his 12th run tonight. So, yeah, judging by that interview, you can tell Shane a bit of a twinkle in his eye. I think he agrees. He's a nice young pup and he might go places.
All right, I've been pushing syndication for the best part of 25 years. I remember writing a story for the Greyhound Recorder, I think, in 1998 or something. Greyhound Racing New South Wales and Greyhound Racing Victoria have now formed a company and being approved by ASIC. So people are now able to form syndicates as long as they are licensed by this body, a joint body between Greyhound Racing New South Wales and Greyhound Racing Victoria. For someone who wants to do that, there are a number of ticks and crosses that have to be adhered to. But what is the process now for someone who wants to form a syndicate with that ASIC licence?
Well, you just now have to get in contact with Australian Greyhound Syndications, and basically, as you said, there are a lot of checks and balances which you've got to go through, and when you are able to do that, you are an authorised rep, then you can go out and start to syndicate greyhounds. It is a process, and if you stay tuned over the next 3 or 4 weeks, there should be some big announcements coming out in that space. So just hold on to your hat for just a few more weeks and there will be news coming regarding syndication, and I think it can only be great for the industry.
Future of the sport. I've been saying it for 20. Yeah. I've been saying it for longer than that. It's the future of greyhound racing, the affordability of what a greyhound is, with no ongoing training fees. I mean, the industry standard is the prize money is shared 50-50 between the trainer and the owners. But the thing is, we talk about those checks and balances. It is regulated by ASIC, the Australian Securities Investment Commission. So, there is a cost involved as far as syndication is concerned. But the thing is that it becomes legal, that there is recourse if there's any problems with the syndicate. Not only that, it means that the actual syndicate, the syndicator, is able to advertise publicly because there is a PSD attached to it as well.
Absolutely, Duke, and it has been a long time coming. This process, Greyhound Racing Victoria and Greyhound Racing New South Wales have been working for 18 months to 2 years to get everything over the line. Primary Securities, they'll hold the AFS licence to enable all of this to happen. So there have been a fair few frustrated people out there. It has been a process, but we're getting very, very close to some big announcements which will see this part of the business, as far as the industry, as far as syndication, I think it will explode, Duke.
Well, we just saw that. We just saw the pictures here at Dubbo, and I mean, again, you can buy, like I've done, you can buy a good dog for that 20 to 30,000. Now, I know that may sound like a lot of money for one person, but with these syndicates, they're able to have up to 100 syndicate members. So if the syndicator buys a dog for $30,000, there are on costs that go onto it. So say it owes them $35,000. They can sell 100 shares at $350 a dog.
Exactly.
No ongoing fees, no training fees, no other fees whatsoever. The dog's pretty much ready to race, ready to go, and there is nothing else apart from that purchase price. It is the absolute future of greyhound racing.
Absolutely, and you can just see an example there is Steve McGrath, you've just mentioned a few times, from the Tweed Heads Greyhound Club. He lives in northern New South Wales. He's here at Dubbo tonight.
Yeah, it's just a junket.
Yes, very true. But he's still here, Duke. He's still here to come down to watch his greyhound go around in what was one of the better finals on the night.
My point is about syndication is that whilst there may only be 20 people as the owners, the actual owners of it, those 20 people have got a partner or a husband or a wife or a girlfriend or a brother or a sister or an auntie or something like that. They all become involved in that greyhound. And that's the beauty of greyhound racing in the sense that it becomes that family sport, but it's the affordability aspect. As I say, you know, I'll tell you, I paid $30,000 for Can You Smoke Them, right? He's now won over $70,000, I think, Timmy. He's an example of a dog that you can buy ready to race. He was basically ready to go. And they're the sort of dogs that syndicators should be looking for. In the case of Jason Campbell, we spoke earlier about Grim Madara. He bought Grim Madara a couple of weeks back. That dog's racing tonight in a race worth $125,000. Yeah. There is none of the other two racing codes, thoroughbreds or harness racing, can compete on an affordability level or, I believe, on a return to investment level as well.
Oh, without a shadow of a doubt. And when you're talking affordability, I've been in a number of horses in my time, and I went in one recently, and unfortunately he won't get back to the track. And when those costs come in, the invoices, well, you nearly have a heart attack at times. Greyhound racing, it's entirely different. You generally pay an upfront fee from the get-go, and you're not really putting your hand in your kick other than that first up, Duke. So that's what's great about greyhound racing. As you said, $30,000 in this day and age for a greyhound isn't a lot of money due to the fact what prize money they can win.
Mate, Can You Smoke Him's 2 years and 2 months of age. He's still got another 12 or 18 months in front of him. He's 70,000 already. The other point about syndication is we talk about welfare and we talk about adoption. When you've got 20, 30, 40, 50, 80 or 100 people in a dog, one of those people will fall in love with that dog, right? If not 2, 5, 10 or whatever. I mean, in the case of Can You Smoke Him, who's a beautiful fawn dog, Andy has already had probably 20 inquiries. When that dog finishes, can we adopt him? Now, he's a good-looking fawn dog. A little bit different. We've got a lot of black dogs in that. But my point here is with syndication, if you've got 20 or 50 owners, that dog's going to find a home. I'll tell you this, I'm yet to see a thoroughbred horse sit on a lounge.
Yeah, very good point, Duke. And part of the syndication process, and I will stand corrected here, but it will be when you go into it, you will have to have a nominated person in the syndicate who is going to rehome the greyhound. Right, and we know how rehoming is such a big part of this industry now. So, as you said, when you've got 100 people in the syndicate, it's going to be easy to rehome that greyhound.
Absolutely. And we want every single greyhound to have a home for life. That's the bottom line. That's that whole welfare and integrity of what we do as an industry. We want that greyhound to have a home for life, whether it's raced, whether it's been a good dog, whether it hasn't been a good dog. The whole point is we want those greyhounds to go to good homes and that. And as I said earlier, we're exporting greyhounds to America because Americans cannot get greyhounds, and they are one of the most popular companion animals over there. So
we can both vouch for that, although my greyhound at the moment is causing no end of trouble, digging up my Dennis.
You've got a greyhound by the name of Dennis. Like, come on.
He was already named.
I'd change his name. Let's get back to business. Let's take a look at the Country Classic final. But syndication, I shouldn't have started because you don't stop me. All right. Race 8 is due in 32 minutes' time. This is the world's richest middle distance race to be run over the 605 metres here at Dubbo. And Bandit Jane, look, she has been rock solid since they opened around 450, 460 after the box draw, coming off that brilliant win in her semi-final last week. She ran by far the fastest of the times, going 34.40. She's now at $3.30, $4.30 about 10 you're keeping at Showman Jack off the inside, $5 Nengar Rocket, who may just get a beautiful cart through if Bandit Jane begins. And then we've got the roughies. Your tip is Grim Madara at $16. And then we've got Valor Bale, Ailey Bale and Jackpot Joan, the three Mexicans who have headed north to Dubbo to try and take the big cash.
We don't want to see them going home with the cash, but it's fantastic to see them.
They can run second and third.
Yeah, we're happy for them to fill the minor money, but it is great to see the Victorians supporting this race because it adds an extra element to the race, Duke. I'm sure there's a stack of Victorian punters and participants who are tuning in for this race tonight due to the Victorian involvement.
All right, so we've got the three Victorians. Andy and Jodie Lord have got Grim Madara and also Bandit Jane. One is the favourite, one is the actual despised outsider in the field, but earlier tonight, Ray Dixon, who's the kennel rep, caught up with Simon Orchard.
Ray out here representing the Lord Kennel tonight. Two dogs in the Country Classic worth $125,000. Bandit Jane and Grim Madara, brother and sister. If you had to lean one way, Ray, which way are you leaning at the moment?
Probably go with Jane, I'd say. Yeah.
Are these siblings the next rising stars of middle distance and staying trips here in New South Wales, do you think?
Oh, they're going good. They've got to make the next step to the 700, but we'll see where they go.
Box 3 for Bandit Jane, box 5 for Grim Madara. Does Jane need to lead to win?
I'd say if she leads, she'll win. She doesn't have to lead, but it, make life a little bit easier for her if she does lead.
And Grim Madara ran second in the Summer 600 at Gosford just over a month ago. Is he a bit underrated potentially in the field tonight?
Yeah, he goes good. He needs a little bit of luck, but he goes good.
Best of luck tonight, mate.
Thanks, mate.
Ray Dixon speaking with Simon Orchard there, and they've got boxes 3 and 5 for Team Lord. Bandit Jane $3.30, Grim Madara at $16. So that is race 8 here at Dubbo, the last of our races that we'll be covering, the biggest middle distance race anywhere in the world. $125,000 going to the winner. Let's take a look at race 7. It is due at 8:50 p.m. It's a 4th and 5th grade final over the 400 metres, and there is just some of the crowd here at Dubbo. And I can tell you, there are still people coming in here, Timmy. We're 30 odd minutes off from start time as far as the big race is concerned, but Jason Owen, of course, will be playing after race number 12 tonight. Very, very short. Shane Stiff looking for 4 winners tonight here at Dubbo on Country Classic night, and Melissa Keeping is all the rage. It's had one start here for 1 win over the 400 metres, going 22.81. And it's won its last 2 here, 18.14, and then that career best 22.81.
Beautifully drawn here in box number 1, Duke. She's got a couple of wider runners in Irinka Andy and Morales Casey drawn on her immediate outside. So with a clean getaway, she's drawn to get all the room in the early stages to drive through, take control, and then let go mid-race. She's absolutely airborne. She's won 4 of her last 5. She's run quick time in the process, 18.14, winning here 2 runs ago, Duke, which is lightning quick, and she was a very, very nice winner at her latest run. Clearly the one to beat, and I think she'll justify the very skinny quote.
All right, number 5, Armatree Sparkle, is a scratching out of race 7 here. Its place has been taken by Barley Lava, a beautifully bred dog, Sambora Brocky out of Nina de Oro. It is owned by Brett Muller. It is trained by Glenn Muller. Simon Orchard is in the kennel area now with Glenn.
Yeah, you're spot on, Duke. Very beautifully bred. Used to be owned by Subby and Jenny Nagura. Glenn, tell us a bit about how Barley Lava's fit into your kennel, mate.
Yeah, mate, my young fella, son, he bought it for $16,000, and he's always had a good eye for a dog, and he just thought, Dad, he said, this is a good bitch, even to breed with. So he said, let's buy her, So I said, fair enough, mate. You got the eye.
He's the boss, is he? Hey, it worked out all right. She won 3 straight at Gunnedah. She hasn't had as much luck here at Dubbo. What do you think your chances are tonight?
Oh, mate, I think she's got a chance if she leads, but she's got to come out of the lids like any other dog,
What do you think of the atmosphere here tonight, mate?
Oh, mate, beautiful. This is a great place. Shane Stiff's done a great job here, mate. Like, I don't know, I reckon he's a wonder man. You have a look at any dog track around and have a look what he's done here. He must be a great bloke. I don't really know him personally, but I've been to other tracks and nothing like this.
I was about to say, did Shane put you up to it? Good on you, mate. Wonderful words. Good luck with Barley Lava.
All right, thanks very much, mate. I appreciate it.
Glenn Muller there, and Barley Lava will start from box number 5. Third pick in the market, Timmy, around that $6.50 quote, and been a little bit of money for it as well.
And will be better for a couple of runs around here now, Duke, but has got to contend with a tricky 5 alley. Plenty of early speed drawn around her tonight, so she'll need to get away from the boxes on a clean note.
All right, let's go through them runner by runner. The preview is taking place at the moment. This is over the 400 metres. Melissa Keeping all the rage. 190 into 145. It's won 4 of its last 5 starts. She is on fire.
Yeah, she's drawn to get the gun run underneath a couple of wider runners or straight trackers who will run cover for her at the first corner. She's in elite form. She's won 4 of her last 5 in quick time. She's ready to rock and roll, and look at her now. She's switched on, ready to go.
Rinker Andy from box 2. This Greyhound is by Barcia Bale out of Slinky Inky for Kirrilly Woodhead. It ran second here behind Armatree Sparkle, a very, very narrow second on Tuesday.
Yeah, began okay, then showed a good turn of pace, rushing to second, and kept on coming and dived late, missing narrowly at his latest run. He's won 2 out of 8 around here. He hasn't broken 23 seconds. He will need to break 23 seconds and run a PB to take this out.
Morales Casey from box number 3 for Pete Carr. It's won its last 2 over the 3:18, 2 starts back, and then on Tuesday in a heat, 23.39, needs to find plenty on the clock.
Yeah, does need to find plenty on the clock. Can't knock his current form. He's racing in career best form, but he does need to improve time-wise.
Genie Cargo for Jamie Bush finished second here behind Al's Holiday on Tuesday. Prior to that, had won 3 on the bounce.
Yeah, very consistent. Greyhound has been in the money in 23 of 29 outings. In the money in all 3 runs, track and trip. Has got the box manners and early speed to overcome the tricky draw.
5 is scratched, 9 no. Barley Lava goes into box number 5. We just heard from Glenn Muller. 6 is Radley Erskine, which is the despised outsider for Melanie Mabbott. Number 7, Irinka Megan for Ray Smith. Finished second behind Melissa Keeping on Tuesday. It was beaten just on a length, going 22.88, and it is hard in the market at $6.
And should be. Tremendous run here on Tuesday. Fast away, went to the top, was really pressured, and just nailed right on the line by Melissa Keeping. Could easily topple the favourite.
Box 8, Al's Holiday for Daniel Hoskins. It won its heat here on Tuesday, going 23.02. Off that time, probably doesn't deserve to be $41, Timmy.
Yeah, look, he's only won the 1 of 4 around here. I do concede he's at a very, very big price after running that 23.02. He's probably the best roughie in the race.
All right, we are both with number 1, Melissa Keeping, who, as I said, open around that $2, $1.95 quote. It has been heavily supported. She's now into $1.45 for race number 7. Of course, it precedes the big one. Due at 9:14 p.m, the Country Classic. But this is race number 7 on the card. So the top pick here is Melissa Keeping at 145. Second pick in the market is Irinka Megan, being handled by Marie Smith. We'll start from box number 7, and then we go out to Barley Lava, who's third pick in the market at $6.50, and then Genie Cargo at $9.50. With this crowd battler, they're down here. We're only literally 15 metres from these 400-metre boxes, which is at the turn out of the home straight. And has it got bigger? Is it an illusion, or are there more people coming in still?
No doubt in the world, Duke. I think even a couple just even walked in just now from come through the entry gate.
Since you said it was free entry, yeah.
Listen, it's all about promotion.
It is when it's not our money. Greyhound's moving behind the 400-metre boxes. Last look at the market here. And Melissa Keeping rock solid now at 145 after the Smarties copped the early $1.90 quote. And second pick in the market is Irinka Megan from box number 7. This is race number 7 on the card. Here's Matt Jackson with his call.
5th grade final. The green light is on. Lewis on its way. Favourite box 1. They're ready. And they're racing. Melissa Keeping, she was away just reasonably. Out fast, deep out, Irinka Megan. She carves over the lead from Barley Lava and Melissa Keeping. 4th is Genie Cargo. There followed Maradas Casey, Radley Erskine. Second last, Irinka Andy. Last, Al's Holiday to the home turn. The leader narrowly, Irinka Megan. Melissa Keeping moved up strongly the outside. She's taken the lead. She's just too good. Melissa Keeping beat Irinka Megan by 2. Third, I think Genie Cargo getting home from Barley Lava. There followed Maradas Casey, well back in the field. Radley Erskine, Irinka Andy and Al's Holiday. The time around 22.70.
Well, we know Shane Stiff had plenty before tonight, but I reckon he's going to have trouble counting what he's won. That's 4 winners for Shane Stiff tonight, with Melissa Keeping getting the cash. And she had to work hard for that because we saw good pace from Irinka Megan and also Barley Lava. She positioned herself well on that top turn to get between Barley Lava and Irinka Megan, and she's pulled away. We're just awaiting for the official time, but it should be 1, 7, 4 and 9 favourite way as far as the exotics were concerned.
Yeah, that was a gritty win, Duke. All honours to her there. She began okay, but she was burnt off early. She got a couple of bumps through that first turn work into the back straight, and then she had to really knuckle down and go out after the leader, and she got to the outside swinging for home, and she put in the big strides, and she was too strong. It is one heck of a night. It's a night to remember for Shane Stiff, not only just for the club and the number of people here tonight, but he's had 4 winners on the program and got plenty in the process.
I tell you what, he's got a look on his face there that doesn't sort of exude any sort of thrill, but he has definitely had a big night. Mick Cowley's with Shane Stiff trackside.
Mate, Duke said you've had a big night.
Yeah, that was good, and the icing on the cake's the next. If Minnie and John can get tenure home good, but Melissa was very, very good. Very good for us, very good for Fiona. Charmaine did own her and trained her and that. And Lenigan's done a real good job with her in Melbourne. She just maybe got out of her grade a bit and she come home, had a good spell. And she's really, really matured, a little bit like the Fernando Bales and that American blood in them. And she's real happy and I'm wrapped in her.
Tell me how you felt when she didn't step.
Sick. I had a few multis going and but she's just chasing like a demon. And if you've seen the run last week, you just had to be on her. But I mean, she can step, but she missed a kick, but the run was real good.
It certainly showed plenty of track sense out the back.
Yeah, no, she's just doing everything right, but she was broken in and educated here early, so it's real good for her.
And I'll let you go. Good luck in the next.
We'll need it. Thank you very much. All the best.
And of course, Melissa Keeping, trained by Shane Stiff for Gerald Lenigan in Victoria. And here is Shane Stiff trackside. There's Courtney Norbury, who is the secretary here at Dubbo, and this is their expressions watching Melissa Keeping, as we said. So we heard Stiffy say that he had a few multis going, and look at this. Pull the sticks. Come on, everyone. Yes, there it is. There he goes. Anyone who watches a Dubbo race on a Saturday night, they see Shane Stiff, and that is typical Shane Stiff. Mind you, he does pull the stick on nearly every race here at Dubbo. You think he backs every single winner.
You see that bald head and the race book and the arms going everywhere each and every Saturday night.
That was Vanessa Easy, who runs the canteen here, and I've got to tell you, if you haven't had one of Vanessa Easy's burgers, you are definitely missing out on life. Arinka Megan leads them up from Barley Lava. There is Melissa Keeping. Now, watch it just here, Timmy. The 2 leaders, she literally pushed Barley Lava out of the way and set out after Arinka Megan.
Yeah, Shane did say her run last week was annoying. It was. She is absolutely airborne, and you saw there what she done. She just went in between. She didn't shirk the task. She knew what she had to do, and she got the job done.
By Fernando Bale out of Caitlin Keeping, who was a terrific race bitch for Shane Stiff, and also Shane Stiff and who else raced it with him? There was another. It wasn't Charmaine. Charmaine trained it, but there was someone else that raced Caitlin.
Yeah,
the name just
I
escapes
should know
my
because
mind.
she was a tremendous little bitch to me, Caitlin Keeping. She won the black top.
No surprise by Fernando Bale, the all-conquering Fernando Bale. Look at this. Oh, look, there's Stiffy. He's just a man of the media. Happy days. Big hug there, and it's just the way it is. Shane Stiff has got plenty.
Yeah, you talk about getting plenty, and you're talking about the Maldies and backing winners. He's won about $22,000 in prize money, taking out those 4 races. So
He needs it.
Oh, yeah.
He'll need it after he has to shout the bar that we're just about to announce that Shane Stiff is going to put a gorilla on the bar. Surely. Come on. It's the least he could do.
That'd be a great get.
150 and 104 for Melissa Keeping, 140 for Arinka Megan, 250 Jeannie Cargo, 9 finishes 4th, 174 and 9 popular. First 4 there at $55.80, which of course, Battler, leads us into the reason that we are here at beautiful downtown Dubbo, or Dub Vegas. How did they get Dub Vegas? Like, is this the Las Vegas of the West? You and I did a little tour of the town this morning. We've both been to Las Vegas, and
I don't know how they got Dub Vegas.
Is it sort of middle of the desert? It's not really desert. I mean, it is a bit barren out here. Is that the connotation?
I don't know, but I think they're
sure the locals are going to tell us why it's called Dub Vegas.
Probably got to drop that name, I think, Duke.
They swear by it, let me tell you. All right, there it is. Look, that's Shane Stiff's old haunting ground, the old Dubbo jail. This is the main street, or one of the main streets in Dubbo, and as I said, it's got a population of around 40,000 people. It is home to the Wiradjuri Indigenous people here in the Central West, and the first explorer and surveyor, the first Englishman basically, was John Oxley, who reported this area back in 1818. And it is famous. We've got the Western Plains Zoo here, which if you have never been to, it is an outstanding zoo. The Royal Flying Doctor Service got a base here as well. And as I said, some of the prominent sports people that have come from here, Les Davidson, one of the former hardmen for South Sydney, Matty Burton, who plays for Canterbury, Andrew Ryan, who played for Canterbury, and also Parramatta, Glenn McGrath, one of the greatest fast bowlers for Australia. He was born here in Dubbo, raised in Narromine, and Isaiah Yo, handy footballer, co-captain of the Penrith Panthers. They are just some of the people who are born and bred here in Dubbo. And it's one of those regional towns. You come here, you fall in love with it.
Yeah, it's a fantastic town. We sat in the studio last year, didn't we, for this race meeting? And we said we've got to be there next year, and the bosses pulled the strings. Our producer, who's back in Sydney, he was able to get the budget to bring us out here, and didn't cost all that much, quite frankly. But it's great to be on track here tonight, and I can't wait to get in amongst that crowd and
maybe
start.
If that camera shot just doesn't really do it justice, you can't really see, but there are people lined the entire length of the home straight. It's, as I say, there's a better shot, thank you. I knew they'd catch up eventually. Again, it's what I remember as a kid going to country tracks. And there were hundreds of people there, whether it was a non-tab or a tab meeting but this is the biggest night of the year in Dubbo. And you want to see them. You want to see them come here. You want to see them have a good time. You want to see them come back.
And that's it, getting them back to the track. But if you come here, Duke, and you have such a big night, and what they do here, Dubbo, every Saturday night, they've always got plenty happening, and whether they've got bands playing, and it's very, very popular. I came out last year for the Brother Fox. A big crowd was in attendance on that night. That was after the Country Classic, not as big as a Country Classic, don't get me wrong, but they had a band playing, and the locals just love it too. They embrace it, and they get a healthy crowd here each and every Saturday night, which is just great for greyhound racing. And as you said, we just need them to keep coming back.
Yeah, and look, there's the connections of Golden Bullet, and there's the club president, Shane Steff, and as said, if you watch our broadcast every Saturday night from Dubbo, he is the bald-headed bloke cheering home every winner. You think he's backed every single winner. I think he just does it for the sake of doing it now. Like he turns around, did everyone get that? Yep. Yeah, we saw you, Stiffy. It doesn't matter. But he does a great job here at Dubbo. He's very passionate about his greyhound racing. He's a long-time participant, and as I say, himself, Courtney Norbury, who is the secretary here, and Courtney won the Young Achiever Award from Greyhound Racing New South Wales. She not only handles Dubbo, she also handles Canamble as well.
Yeah, she does. She does a great job. She's only young, Courtney. She's enthusiastic. She's great to deal with as far as club managers are concerned. She's always in touch with us at Greyhound Racing New South Wales regarding what they can do here at the club. Very, very progressive club. As we've mentioned, Shane does a great job as president. He's got a great committee, a very supportive committee here too, which is a big part.
A lot of volunteers too, mate.
Yeah, and in this day and age, Duke, the volunteer workforce, it's pretty much getting toward non-existence. And not only in racing, but all codes of sport. It's very hard to get volunteers in this day and age. So they do a great job here, and as you said, plenty of volunteers helping with the trials, and which makes it the club more profitable too. If you're not paying wages when you're running trial sessions and the whatnot here, but when it comes around the end of the year and you're sitting down to do the financials, it makes a big difference to the bottom line.
It sure does. All right, the big one. Greyhound Racing New South Wales Country Classic Final, the world's richest middle distance race. We run over the 605 metres in around 34.5 seconds. And Bandit Jane has said that early money came after the box draw came out, around that 440, 450 quote. She's into that 330 mark, now into 320. She has been rock solid the last 3 or 4 days, Timmy. The inside 4 boxes are the favoured runners in this event, but you simply cannot discount greyhounds drawn in boxes 5, 6, 7 and 8. And I know you're keen on Grim Madara, but I'll tell you this, if Grim Madara steps, all he wants to do is get straight to the fence. So you've got the 3 Victorians drawn in boxes 6, 7 and 8. And Jackpot Joan has said, you go back through that Tamora heat where she ran second to Dookie Devil, a Group 1 winner at the Meadows of the Rookie Rebel. The second stringer basically for Glenn Dayton. She's at $10. She's definitely not out of this race. We're going to take a look at a semi-final from last week here at Dubbo. And I'm just waiting to be told which semi-final it is. And it is Valor Bale for Mark Delbridge and Grim Madara. Now, they dead heated in this. And you'll see Grim Madara go to the lead here, just out of the home straight here in a semi-final of the Country Classic last week.
up a go. The leader is Madara, leads the way. Into second is Valabale out after it, and then came Zipping Alabama running on strongly. It's Grim Madara still in front. Out after it, still Valabale not getting there as yet. Grim Madara hanging on. They're coming. Valad on the inside, got there. Valabale on the inside, got up to beat Grim Madara. Zipping Alabama close up third. Then would have been behind them runners was Sire.
Okay, the judge couldn't split them. Grim Madara on the outside, Valor Bale. $16 about Grim Madara, $10 about Valor Bale. They went 34.78 in that semi-final. Now, we had 3 other semi-finals as well, and they were possibly the best 600-metre semi-finals we've seen anywhere in New South Wales. I'm not going to say Australia, but Tanya Keeping, a dual track record holder. She set a track record in Nowra in a heat of the country classic, and then she had box 4 here last week in the semi-final.
There, further out, deeper still there. Behind them was Ibrox Wildfire, and behind that Zipping Curios down the back, taking over Tanya Keeping. She's found the front, trying to stick with it. Zohar Bale and round the outside, Jackpot Joan, but Tanya Keeping on the bunny. All eyes on the clock here. Tanya Keeping going, Great Guns racing away in the straight, and Tanya Keeping wins. Second will go to Jackpot Joan. Third, Zipping Curios flashed home. Then Zohar Bale. Further back, Punters Bandit. Never really got into it with Kenya.
34.70 the time. As I said, she broke that track record at the Gardens, Timmy, going back, I think it's 34.15 now, isn't it? 34.14. They don't run that time at the Gardens. She then went to Nowra in a heat of this event. She broke the track record there going 35.91. The only knock, if you want to look at statistics, she's had 3 starts out of box 2. It's the only box that Tanya Keeping has not won out of during her career. Yeah, true. She has been in the money in 2 of those, but yet to win. The little hang-up for her in this race, this particular race, is Showman Jack drawn immediately underneath her, because he does want to shift up the track at the first turn. So she's either got to beat him out or miss it and dive to the rails, because if he shifts, she'll then get a good run through at the first turn. Here is Bandit Jane from box 5 and Showman Jack from box 1. This is the semi-final last week. Jane, as we just saw there, stepped beautifully, carved straight to the front. She is the reigning track record holder at Dubbo over the 600 metres as well.
They've cleared out on the rest. It's still Bandit Jane in front as they lead the back. Showman Jack close enough if good enough, but Bandit Jane doing nicely on the corner. Still a length and a half, extending the lead. And Bandit Jane wins. Second will go to Showman Jack. Third would have been Zipping Orlando. Ran on well. Further back was...
I guess the question is, if Bandit Jane doesn't lead, can Bandit Jane win?
No.
That's very easy. Thank you. Right, so Timmy says Bandit Jane can't lead, doesn't win, doesn't lead, can't win. And look, I've got to say, I probably agree with you as well.
I will say, if probably Grim Madara led and Bandit Jane got on his hammer, she could probably run him down because she's a quicker greyhound than him. But she'd have to be very close. I don't think she could run down any other greyhound in this race.
Yeah. All right, the last of the semis we're going to take a look at, Nengar Rocket from box 7. Watch it cut to the fence through the first turn here. And also Ailey Bale from box 8. They are the qualifiers from this race.
Special blend slip in a Fortuna fit them in, and just ahead of it, Zipping Mercedes down the black. Nengar Rocket went whoosh, took over. Ailey Bale trying to go with it. They're clear on the rest, headed by Come On Aussie, and then came in behind them Shay. Coming to the corner, Nengar Rocket with a handy break by trying hard Ailey Bale, but Nengar Rocket wins the final semi. Second will go to Ailey Bale and gets through. Then came Come On Aussie, followed by Special Blend, if you say.
All right, Nengar Rocket. Now, he ran 34.54, 2 lengths slower, a little bit more than 2 lengths slower than what Bandit Jane ran. I want to use a form guide here as far as a pointer is concerned. We spoke about Tanya Keeping breaking that track record at the Gardens going 34.14. If we go back 3 starts, Nengar Rocket beat Zipping Curios, who won this race last year, going 34.16, which is basically a neck slower. Yeah, just outside the track record. Oh, he is a very, very quick greyhound, and he's got an undeniable chance here. Box 4 isn't a major worry because he's a straight tracker. I think Grim Madara will stay up the track or run a straight line, so I don't think he will worry him. And Bandit Jane does. You've got a bit of a different opinion. I think Madara goes
I disagree with you there. I think he runs a straight line. So we'll know more in about 10 or 11 minutes. But
it's not the first time we've disagreed. But I think he wants to cut from those middle and outside boxes. I think he wants to cut across.
All right. I disagree. Anyway, I think Nick Rocket's got a great chance. He's got a good record here. He's won 4 out of 5 and he's been in the money in his only other run. We know he can run the time required to win this race. And I know the camp are quietly confident of taking out this race.
All right, one of the lovely ladies in greyhound racing is Julie Smart, the wife of Johnny Smart, who prepares Showman Jack. Simon Orchard is with Julie now.
Julie, Showman Jack jumps from the red. Everyone wants the red in the big races. Are you happy with it?
Yes, we are. We're very happy with it, but we just hope we can just get around that corner and clear it.
His mum, Lovelace, ran in numerous group finals over 720 metres. Do you think this is his best distance?
We're going to try him over the longer distance, but we'll see how he goes tonight and then work out from next week whether we go into the heats for the Easter egg. And then after that, we'll try and work out, we'll start to step him up and see if we can get him up over that distance.
What would you do with 125 grand?
Oh, well, it'd be nice, but we'll wait until the race is over.
Best of luck.
Thank you.
Julie Smart there, handling Showman Jack for her husband Johnny. And as she said, he's got an undeniable chance, but the problem, as you said, Timmy, he does want to shift off that box. And if there is going to be pressure coming from particularly Bandit Jane wanting to get to the fence, we saw that in the semi-final last week.
Yeah, they'll be bumping it through that first turn because he does want to shift and he does it all the time. That's his traits. So he will need to begin cleanly and burn them off and get clear running. If he doesn't, he'll be bumping and jostling through that first turn. That might put him out of play.
In last year's Country Classic final, Mark and Lisa Delbridge had Jarek Bale, who's a Group 1, multiple Group 1 winner. This year they've got 2 runners. They've got Valor Bale from box 6 and Ailey Bale from box 7. And Simon is speaking with Mark Delbridge now.
Mark, Valor Bale and Ailey Bale from 6 and 7 tonight. Are they ready to go?
Yeah, they're ready. They're ready as they can be, yes.
What does the last 24 hours look like for you, mate?
Oh, look, just the same as last week. So we come up to Wheelers yesterday, and then I said the track up to here today. So yeah, it's been the same as last week.
Been involved in plenty of big races over your time, mate. What is it like being here at Dubbo tonight with the atmosphere and the big crowd on hand?
Oh, look, the atmosphere is good. As I said, I was in this race last year, but didn't have any luck. But let's hope we can have some luck tonight.
Best of luck, mate.
No worries, thank you.
Mark Delbridge, one of Victoria's leading trainers. He's got boxes 6 and 7 in tonight's Country Classic. Let's hope for him and also for the Wheeler family that he has better luck than what he had with Jarek Bale last year. And at the moment, Valor Bale around the $11 quote, Ailey Bale around $13. Like I said, for me, I just like Bandit Jane. I think she's going to get a little bit of room to move with Nango Rocket on her outside. And Tanya Keeping isn't a renowned fast breaker. Not a greyhound that comes out running, and I hear what you're saying about Bandit Jane. If she doesn't lead, with the exception of Grim Madara, if she's sitting second behind him, that she's probably going to find it really tough. But I go back to that 33.99 track record run at Dubbo. No other greyhound in history has run that battle.
I don't think I would. I didn't think I'd ever see a greyhound get under that 34 seconds at Dubbo.
No.
And she's only got just under in 33.99, but it was a staggering performance. On the bunny, there's no greyhound can run her down in this race. She will win if she leads at the first turn. She will win. Whether she can nail it again like she did here 7 nights ago, well, we'll know in 4 or 5 minutes.
And I tell you the key here is that when you look at the preparation, so Andy brought her up here 3 starts back to give her a look at the track, basically. It went around a very hot race. It was won by Punters Bandit. She then went to Dubbo, ran second behind Coast Model, who has just been served by Bernardo. She came on season a couple of weeks back. She was scratched from the semi-final here last Saturday night at Dubbo, and Coast Model, who had a sensational career, has just been served by Bernardo. And then she came back last week, Bandit Jane, and we saw in that semi-final replay that she carved to the front, ran a fast first split of 8.97. Grim Madara did run 8.92 from box number 8 and getting clear air. One moves from 5 to 3, the other one moves from 8 to 5. So again, it's, which way do you want to, how do you want to read those first 3 steps out of the boxes? But for me, Bandit Jane, as said, I think she can lead this race. And as you've just said, if she leads, it's pretty impossible for something to run her down.
Yeah, and she's fitter now, Duke. She's coming into this race tonight, 4th up from a break. So her preparation has been timed to the minute with this race in mind. She lid pinged, she ran those blinding early and mid-race sectionals. She ran 1972, that second section. That is absolute weapon-like, absolutely flying. And then home in 14.68 and just outside the track record. As I said, if she does lid ping and she leads, I think she'll just win the race. But she can be very touchy at box rise.
All right, as far as the betting market is concerned, Showman Jack open around 440, out to 460, but still solid at that. Tanya Keeping, 440 out to 480, and again solid. Bandit Jane, they did bet 460 early in the week. 350 yesterday, I think it is. She's into around that 340, 330 quote. Nangar Rocket, you want to talk about experience and you want to talk about a greyhound with a likeness for a track. Nangar Rocket, trained by Dennis Barnes. It's had 5 starts here, 4 wins, 1 minor placing. It knows every speck of loam here, Battler.
Absolutely, he does. And he's another greyhound who can run flying times when he does find the lure. If you do like him, I couldn't possibly talk you out of him. I think he's got a great chance. I'm not too concerned with that box 4 because he does run a straight line. He does get 4 or 5 greyhounds off the fence at various stages during the race. As you just mentioned, he knows every little inch of sand around this track. He's been educated here. And again, he's another greyhound. He's in astute hands. They would have had this race in the back of their mind for a long time, and he'll be ready to peak tonight.
Yeah, and that 34.16 run at the Gardens, that's a real key pointer to how fast a greyhound Nangar Rocket is. There is the scenes in the home straight here at Dubbo, and we talk about Grim Madara. It's around the $17 quote. Valor Bale, it's been $10 and it's been absolutely solid. Likewise for Ailey Bale, a little bit of money coming for it now. And Jackpot Jones also got a little bit of specking of support here from around that $12 mark into around $9. I'm with Bandit Jane at around $3.60.
I've got to throw my money on Grim Madara, Duke. I think he's an amazing price. I think he's a great chance of leading. If he does lead, he'll run you an almighty race. He's not the quickest greyhound in the race, but at that price I've got to be with him.
I'll tell you how vantage points are going here. So we're at the turn out of the home straight, just near the 400 metre boxes. People have lined the entire straight here at Dubbo from the 5.16s right around here to the 400 metre boxes for this big event, the Country Classic, the world's richest middle distance race. It'll take around 34.5 seconds. $125,000 goes to the winner. They're being boxed. Last year it was taken out by Zipping Kyrgios. Who wins 2023? Here's Matt Jackson.
Set to jump. Favourite box 3. Racing now. Bandit Jane, she left well, but out fast. Wide out is Ailey Bale. And the Victorian carved over to lead down to the judge from Jackpot Joan. 3rd, Showman Jack. And 4th is Nangar Rocket. There followed by Valor Bale. Well back is Bandit Jane, Grim Madara and Tanya Keeping. Down the back straight, and it's Ailey Bale who leads by 3. Showman Jack starting to close strongly. They're clear of Jackpot Joan and then Nangar Rocket. Up at the home turn, it's still Ailey Bale 3/4. Showman Jack's throwing out a big challenge. Showman Jack's moved up, taken the lead. Showman Jack's won the Country Classic and beaten Ailey Bale. Photo 3rd, maybe Jackpot Joan, just from Nangar Rocket, then Bandit Jane, Valor Bale, Tanya Keeping, last Grim Madara. The time around 34.48.
1-7-8-4, 1-7-8-4 to the Country Classic final. Johnny and Julie Smart have taken it out with Showman Jack. The favourites missed the kick. Showman Jack got in behind Ailey Bale in the early stages and then got clear air past us here, Timmy. And he set sail down the back straight. He still had a mountain to climb up.
He sure did, but he got into fresh air, Duke, and that big motor kicked in. The revs built up and he went out after Ailey Bale down the back straight. I wasn't confident he would run it down, but when he really got into full stride, he really let go and he was too powerful at the end. We always have known he's had a big engine. He's had untapped ability from the early days, and this has been his crowning glory. And he used box 1 to perfection, Duke. He really drove hard through that first turn, and he won the race going out of the home straight on the first occasion when he got into second position, and a couple of the other favoured runners were back in the pack.
All right, Showman Jack takes out the Country Classic final for 2023. Mick Cowley is trackside. I'm not sure whether it's Julie Smart or Johnny Smart, but I tell you what, I bet you they've got a massive smile on their face.
Absolutely correct. Julie Smart's with me. Julie, big smile on your face. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. Oh.
How does it feel? That's a hell of a run.
I don't know. I can't even explain the feeling. You always hope and dream, but didn't expect to actually do it.
I guess the way that he did it too. It was pretty handy.
Yeah. Be good to watch the race again, but no. Speechless.
What does this mean for you guys? You've been in the game for quite a while. To win a big race like this, on a night like this with a crowd like this.
I can be left with hardly any mortgage.
Well, that's a bonus in itself.
Yes, it is.
Did yourself and John set him for this race specifically?
We were looking at stepping him up. Then he was off. He ended up with split webbing and all that sort of stuff, and then we brought him back. And I said to John, we came back and he still wasn't quite right to come back to racing. He wasn't jumping as well, and then we gave him another break. And then I said to John, those heats are on at Dubbo. Do you want to do it? And he goes, just throw him in. We'll go. We'll work from there.
Well, it certainly worked out for the best, that's for sure.
It has.
What do you think John will be thinking right now?
I reckon he'd be nearly on his deathbed, I think.
The fact that you boxed the dog, is that just a superstitious thing? Or?
No, well, he actually said to me, since Gosford, since he's won the race, he goes, you can just keep boxing the dog.
When you're on a good thing.
That's it. That's exactly right.
Well, congratulations, Julia. Wonderful. Soak up this atmosphere and the crowd and go get your boy.
All right, then. Thank you.
Well done.
Thank you very much. Thanks.
Julie Smart there with Mick Cowley, and I can tell you, Timmy, I had a chat with Johnny Smart probably 6 or 7 weeks ago. We were at Wentworth Park. It was a Wednesday night meeting. Jack was in. I think he was in against Simply Limelight, and Showman Jack wasn't racing anywhere near his best. We know he's a 29.5 winner, and I said to Johnny, what are you going to do? And he said, look, if he doesn't do any good tonight, he said, I'm going to throw him out. He said, I got his bloods done. They looked all right, but so he persevered. He kept going on with it, and again, you look at this now, and he's now won 14 career races from 36 starts, over $200,000 in prize money by Fernando Bale out of Lovelace.
And Lovelace is a greyhound which holds a very special place in their hearts. She was a ripping bitch for the Smarts, winning races in town and going around in some of the big staying races, Duke. So that is just that extra thrill on top of taking out this big race. John just walked past us a moment ago and said, what a buzz. It's like the day Octagonal won the Australian Cup. Of course, John used to work for Woodlands back in the days. So, what a big thrill.
All right, let's thank Ladbrokes and Neds for taking our coverage here from Dubbo tonight for the Country Classic final, taken out by Showman Jack for John and Julie Smart. And what a race it was. What a race it was, Timmy. And again, as I said, when he came past here and he got that clear air. But again, unfortunately, our viewers couldn't see it, but we saw Johnny Smart. He caught the dog. For him, mate, it's a Group 1 win. It's a massive win. It's $125,000 to him and Julie and the family. He's been in greyhound racing for as long as I can remember. He's always been a good bloke.
He sure has been. And as I just said with Lovelace...
And a good trainer, I should say, as well.
Absolutely. And with Lovelace, any greyhound trainer or owner or breeder you talk to, they always get a bigger thrill when they've had these greyhounds from a puppy, Duke. And they've had this greyhound Showman Jack from day dot, and now he has taken out the Country Classic.
All right, Johnny Smart is the trainer, and I think Mick Cowley has got Johnny Smart near the presentation area.
I do indeed. John Smart, how does that feel, mate?
Oh, unbelievable. What a buzz. It was like in the olden days when Octagonal won, when I was strapping Octagonal, when he used to win, it was like him. It was like a little O. It was unreal.
Mate, that's a hell of a comparison, Octagonal.
Oh, well, he's my little hockey. No.
Mate, Julie was saying that you set the dog for this race. You saw the heats. Everything goes to plan. It's perfect.
That's it. And travelled up here, and Stiffy, looked after us, and thanks for the club and all that stuff. And I don't know what to say. I'm speechless.
Where does this rate in terms of your career, in terms of you've been in the dogs for a long time? it's right up there, obviously.
Oh, for sure, for sure. Like the Mum was good, Kansan was good. I've been in a couple of Group 1 races and I've never pulled one off. I ran second, third, but I've won one, you know. Unbelievable. It's a good feeling.
Will you step him up now for 7:15?
There is a big chance. There is. Do I freshen him up and go Easter egg or do I go the 700? I'll just see how he pulls up after this and then we'll assess it.
Now, what were your thoughts in the run, mate?
Oh, when he was running second, I know he's a strong dog, you know, like his mum. His mum was strong. You know, when I was around there cheering, don't you worry. The wife, when he won at Gosford, we just left the same plan. I caught the dog, so you know what I mean. I think she's got it all the time now.
Julie said that one of the big things with this is it certainly halves your mortgage a bit.
Oh, for sure, for sure. Life changing, you know. We're just battlers. We're just one or two dogs, and you know, Preston Rolls gave me the opportunity to have Lovelace and Blue Revolver. I read him in the backyard and took him down the oval, and he gave me the opportunity. And when Blue Revolver went to Melbourne, he was winning races left, right, and centre. And then Lovelace, we were running a pub up at Ipswich, and then we come back home, and then. I took her on myself and she won about 6 in a row, you know.
Mate, one last thing, this is really what dreams are made of, isn't it?
Oh, for sure. It's, you know, like, it's good.
Thanks, mate. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thanks. Cheers.
Johnny Smart there, and look, we heard him. He did used to work for Johnny Hawks, strapping octagonal. It's a comparison, isn't it, for one of the greatest thoroughbred horses. But you know what? This is John and Julie Smart's octagonal right there in front of them, Battler, and it's not a Group 1. It's not the richest race in the world, but for them it is. It is the richest middle distance race in the world. It's $125,000. But you go back through the mother and what they used to do with the pups and all that, and it's, again, we talk about the things that greyhound racing can bring to people and families. And here is another example.
Absolutely. Duke, as you said, they've had this greyhound from a pup from day dot. They bred him, they've nurtured him all the way through, they've got him to the racetrack, and they've trained him to win the richest middle distance race in the world. It's quite a backstory with John and working with Octagonal and Woodlands and John Hawkes and the like, and now he's a successful greyhound trainer in his own right, has been for many, many years. As he's mentioned, he's been in Group 1 races, never won one, but run a lot of placings. And it's just fantastic to see, and you can just see how happy Julie and John are. And Showman Jack, and now he's got, what's he going to do? Does he come back? Does he have a crack at the Golden East?
No, I think he freshens him up. It's a big ask to go from 500 to 600 and 700 without a run over the 700 metres. I think without a doubt you'll see him freshen up and go back into the Golden East Streak.
Yeah, and we know he's a 29.5 dog around Wentworth Park, but you know, and what will actually suit him about being the Golden East Streak? It's a 3-week series.
Yeah.
So he can run third in a heat. Then he gets through to semi-final stage.
Give him an easy week this week, freshen him up.
Ladies and gentlemen,
he may be a greyhound that doesn't need a lot anyway. But there is Rob McCauley, the CEO of Greyhound Racing New South Wales, with John and Julie Smart doing the presentation. Lisa Delbridge and Glenn Dayton there as well. We're going to take a look at the dividends in just a moment. But again, this is what greyhound racing is all about. It's $125,000 to the winner. It halves their mortgage. It's life-changing.
Yeah. And he actually said it's life-changing. And he admitted, we're just battlers. But it's been a life-changing night for Julie and John, and it's just fantastic to see.
All right, the numbers in the Country Classic final for 2023, 1, 7, 8 and 4, 5, 10 and 130 for the winner, Showman Jack, 320, 280, the Quinella Pace, 38.70, 50.80 for the Exacta, 230 for even for the try, and the first four, a tick over $1,301. So, again, it's a race that's already, I know we've only had 2 runnings on it, It's created huge emotion. We saw Minnie Finn dancing down the straight last year when Zipping Kyrgios win. And tonight we heard the screams from John Smart as he was bringing Showman Jack back, mate.
Sure did. And the Victorians, Duke, they've run big races. You've got to give credit to Ailey Bale for Mark Delbridge. She ran a bottler in front, just gobbled up in the last 50 to 60 metres. I'm sure the Victorians are going to continue to target this race each and every year as it continues to build. Great to see them here tonight, but it's the New South Welshman who has reigned supreme.
And again, we talk about taking races to regional centres. We had 8 heats run at 8 different regional centres in New South Wales. There is no 600 metre race at Wentworth Park, so we went to places like Temora, we went to the Gardens, we went to Gosford, we came here to Dubbo as well. But again, look at that, and again, another winner for an unbelievable side. I know I ranked Fernando Bale in the top 3 greyhounds I've ever seen in my life. His deeds as a sire, I believe, supersede his heroics on the track. And don't forget, a 9-time Group 1 winner, Fernando Bale, and the first greyhound to legitimately win $1 million in prize money. But what he's done as a sire, and people say he gets all the best bitches, he doesn't get all the best bitches, and he doesn't get the best performed bitches. I tell you what, he throws unbelievable chases.
I can't see his feats in the breeding barn ever equalled in our lifetimes.
Not mine. Yeah. He'll go down in my... And look, I've seen them all. I've seen the Brother Foxes. So, you know, I was lucky to handle a dog called Waverley Supreme, who's the greatest ever import sire into Australia. I've seen the Brett Lees. I've seen dogs that have changed the face of breeding in Australia. None more so than Fernando Bale, but none more so than that dog. And you look at Showman Jack, you could be looking at Fernando Bale, how striking he is with the same head carriage as far as the brindle is concerned, the white and brindle. And there is Johnny and Julie Smart, and I cannot wait to go and see them. Give Johnny a hug and give Jules a kiss, because they are just lovely, but they are salt of the earth people, mate.
They sure are. And yeah, Fernando Bale, Duke, he is an out-and-out champion on and off the track, and in a golden Easter egg. Yeah, Derby, a Peter Mossman, a golden Easter egg. Probably my biggest thrill as a race caller, calling him to take out the 2015 golden Easter egg. He was a freakish animal, as we know, on the track, and I agree with you, what he's done off the track has surpassed what he did on it.
And look, I tell you what, the drive home from Dubbo to Sydney tonight, for Johnny and Julie, it will go like that. Safe travels to all our trainers here at Dubbo heading home tonight. But you can could you imagine the chat as far as John and Jules going home tonight, back to Sydney? It's, 5 hours nearly in the car. How many times will they what about when he went down the back straight and he hooked what about when he got to the lane? What about when he got to the first? Good luck to him. I love seeing anyone win a feature race like that, but when you see people like Johnny and Julie Smart, it really makes my heart tickle.
And they've only got a couple of greyhounds in work, Duke, which
and
makes it that extra special.
Yeah.
In my mind, it's not one of the big trainers, and not taking anything away from any of the big trainers, don't get me wrong. But when a battler wins with only a couple of dogs in the kennels, it's just that extra special element to the race.
Yeah, it is a massive night here at Dubbo. It continues. You can continue to watch all the action on thedogs.com.au. That concludes our part of the presentation here at Dubbo tonight. But look at that, the crowd, they'll be sticking around after race 12. Jason Owen will be entertaining them. He's already done a set and rocked Dubbo here tonight. And as I said, already, Timmy, this race has established itself as a highly charged emotion race, the Country Classic. Thank you so much for being beside me tonight, mate.
Been a lot of fun, Duke. We can't wait to go and join the crowd, have a beer or two and sing along to the tunes after the last.
A beer or 10. It is still warm out here. Thank you also to Mick Cowley and also to Simon Orchard, who have been trackside with us tonight. I hope you've enjoyed our coverage. Hope you've been able to find a winner or two along the way. It still continues here at Dubbo. Don't forget, head to thedogs.com.au. The winner of the 2023 Country Classic Final, Showman Jack.